And now, the main event, where tonight's entertainment is the review of entertainment. We like movies, we like television, and we like overthinking it. Introducing the podcast of critics.
Hello and welcome to the podcast of critics. I am Ashley.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Addie.
And we are going over Catching Fire today.
What do we say? Third episode of this series. Second episode of this movie series.
Second movie.
Second movie.
There you go.
Yeah. Hopefully, again, we don't have to split this one into two episodes, but if we do, we'll let you know.
We're gonna overthink it. It's literally in the tagline of the show.
Mm-hmm.
As per usual for this thing, we do plot, performance, production.
Correct.
Good Lord, it's been a minute.
We're getting used to it.
We're so sorry. You want to start with the cast of this one?
Well, let's talk. Well, I wanted to talk a bit, continuing my theme of fandomization. I was asking you guys what, at the time this came out, and I think both of you saw this in theaters.
Yes.
Because I haven't seen this one. This is my first time seeing this one too. I want to say.
Actually?
Yeah. No, I didn't care.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I didn't care. That's why you guys were like talking about lore stuff, and I'm like, oh, shut up.
No,
I want to know.
I had it in mind a little.
I actually did not know. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Yeah, I don't. So I don't quite know all the twists and turns. I have not seen. I've seen clips and bits on like YouTube and stuff. So I have not seen this one before. So I don't know what the fandom reaction was to it at the time. I don't know what the feelings were on the book versus the movie. From what you were saying, it's apparently pretty accurate.
It's fairly accurate. There are a few things that are different, a few things omitted, and I understand why. I did not remember this being 2.5 hours. But when we looked it up, and I was like, oh, it's 2.5 hours.
I think they all are, aren't they? Like around that?
Yeah, thereabouts. So,
can I preemptively ask, do we feel Mockingjay is justified, from what y'all remember, being split into two movies, or could it have fit in one? That's probably a better question for the Mockingjay episode, but I am just curious.
I think I remember pre-reading it too, because I haven't read it yet, right? Like I'm doing these as we go. I read it a while back, but I have not read it recently.
Yeah.
I think I remember being pissed that I had to wait for the second movie. However, I understood because we got so much detail on everything. Because, again, the books are written entirely in Katniss's perspective. Mockingjay is important because of... Oh, you haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to spoil it. But for the other characters that are doing other things in other places...
You actually do get their POV?
You get their POV in the movie where you don't... Like, you were stuck to just the one place in Katniss's perspective.
That's interesting, because, like, the movies so far have been pretty good about committing to Katniss's POV, so I am kind of, like... surprised.
The asides with Snow, where you know what's going on, those are the things that you don't get in the books. It's canon to the book mostly because you get questions answered, or they like some of the things that you get in context clues from her, you actually get from him. On a general sense, there's like two stages essentially in Mockingjay, and there's two locations,
right? And
so that part is where we really needed the time.
Gotcha. Was this the favorite? Would you guys say this is your favorite?
Yeah. The second one?
Yeah. What about you?
Out of the original trilogy, for sure.
And I think that's the consensus along the fandom as well, is that the Catching Fire is the favorite, purely because your world building is done. Your relationships, at least your main relationships amongst like Haymitch, Peeta, Katniss, Effie, and Snow are all established. And Gale. Let me not forget him.
You have a lot of thoughts about Gale.
Because
he's in a lot of this movie, actually. He actually, like, the last one, he was just kind of showed up at the beginning and then, like, occasionally pops in to, like, make a stank face.
Yeah.
And this one, he's actually has, like, lines.
The love triangle comes to a head, for sure.
Yeah, I think partially because in the first one, in her perspective, it's not... She's always cared for him more than she cares about anybody else other than her family. But she also isn't clear on that, and she says so even in the books, where it's like my feelings are confused. I still don't know really
She doesn't know
what
what
I
she
feel.
wants. Yeah.
She doesn't know what she wants, and she she's 16, man. Did you know what you wanted at 16?
No.
Did you know who you wanted at 16?
I know the girls certainly didn't.
They didn't want me either. It's okay. So, like, you know, she is a little bit of an unreliable narrator purely based on age, I would say, as well.
Sure. How many years was between this one and the first one getting made? Because she is noticeably... They're noticeably...
Very few.
Yeah.
It was
like a year after.
It's
or
very,
two.
very few.
This was 2013.
Because I watched the first one freshman year of high school.
Which was my sophomore year.
Yeah, it is the next year. It's 2012 and 2013, so okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
like Jennifer Lawrence, I think herself was doing several things at this point
This
in
was
time.
her big break. So, like,
Yeah.
in between the Hunger Games.
I think
and-
X-Men was happening around here.
This probably would have been after. Maybe right after this one is what I would imagine. Because I think X-Men was 2014, so probably like the same year she was doing. Probably in between maybe this and the Mockingjays.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that one was probably filmed like as one big movie and split into two. How you do? You
Yeah.
know, like our episodes.
Like our episodes.
Well, I want to talk a bit on the production side before on our cast.
Oh, go
Because
ahead.
we do have a lot of, because that was one of the things that I liked. I don't know about more. I'm kind of split if I like this more than the first one. And I'll come back to that as we go along. But I do like that we have more characters in this one because we add a lot more. We get a lot more of Snow, of Donald Sutherland. We get, who else joins us here? We've got Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Rip to both of those.
Jeffrey Wright is fantastic. Amanda Plummer. Who's the Joanna chick? What's her name?
Ooh, I'm annoyed that I can't remember.
Jenna Malone.
Jenna Malone.
Sam Claflin, who I don't know a lot of some of these people.
Sam Claflin? Me Before You? Are you kidding me right now? This
know.
man continually dies,
He
actually,
was in love
things.
with Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah, what are you talking
Who is he in? Who is he in?
They
that?
did a romance
Hi-
together.
Amelia
Oh,
Clark
okay.
and... Amelia Clark, is that her name?
Yeah,
Amelia Clark, yeah.
And Sam Claflin did Me Before You. He's paralyzed from the neck down.
And he's
then
rich.
He does
Filthy stinking rich.
yeah, and he does the Switzerland
She's like her
suicide.
caretaker or something?
Yes.
His caretaker?
Oh, it's a Florence, and it's a like, let me heal you, let me take care of you. Romance.
Yeah, but it's more so like his parents.
grumpy.
His parents, actually, Tywin Lannister
Oh,
is his father
Charles Dance.
in that.
Cool.
Yes, Charles Dance.
And his parents are basically trying to convince him to not kill himself.
Is
And
he a Brit? Is he British? Sam Claflin?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think so.
Let me peek. I'm
It seems
scrolling.
pretty natural in
that
the book.
would make sense why his English accent, American accent.
His
in the-
American
Yeah.
accent needed work in
is
this
very
one.
sharp.
He is a Brit. Yeah, freaking Liam has a few slip ups in here too.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's really young in this though, so this is
But you get a lot of cool veteran actors like Philip Seymour Hoffman and stuff. And I wanted to draw again the comparison that dawned on me today, where like Hunger Games is like America's Harry Potter in a lot of ways, as we have all these really cool veteran actors, like just like in Harry Potter, you have all these like great British veterans, like you got David Thewlis, you got Richard Harris. Why am I blanking on
Alan
McGonagall's Alan Rickman?
Oh, you just said it too. Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith, yeah, you get all these like great British. I feel so ashamed.
Isn't
forgetting
she
Maggie
Dame,
Smith.
Dame
Especially 'cause
Maggie
it-
Smith?
Dame Maggie Smith,
to
yeah.
you, mister.
Like that's a hard name to forget too,
Yeah.
Maggie Smith. Anyway, you have all these great veterans and stuff, and similar thing over here which like to me, you know, again, if I'm talking like fandomization, like in my head, like Harry Potter and Hunger Games on the same level, where it's like, yeah, they're cool and they're meaningful for people of a certain age, but like at a certain point, you grow out of them while still having an affection for them. So to me, it's kind
Like
of
Star Wars.
yeah, exactly. No, exactly. I'm not going to sit here and act like Star Wars isn't for kids. It is. I'm fully willing to admit that. I'm not above it.
But now it's for
Man,
the
Clone
the
Wars
kids
goes hard.
who've grown up.
Yeah, it's great. But, you know, so it's kind of funny. But the point being is that you have these like great veteran actors who like step down into something that's like for younger people or whatever. So it's kind of cool.
I don't know if it's so much them stepping down as it is that they're trying to broaden their audience from just kids.
Yeah, no, and it's
Well-
great. And I love that specifically for
'Cause
Philip Seymour
The
Hoffman.
revolution needs to happen with adults too.
Yeah.
And I think it's become more and more relevant. Like you see it online. People are bringing up the Mockingjay tune and everything like that.
Yeah. And Donald Sutherland, I talked last time, like he like found the script on accident, like somehow it made it to him, and he like went out of his way to like be in it and
We're
add
very
scenes
grateful.
to it.
We're very grateful.
So big R.I.P. to him, and he gets a lot more to do this one too. Which
And
is
with the
really
Harry
cool.
Potter Hunger Games thing, Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling said herself she only wanted Brits in it.
Another way that she's selective.
A quite selective woman, isn't she?
Disgusting.
Then the Hunger Games is in Pan Am, of course, which is North America.
Supposedly.
Confirmed. Canonically.
Confirmed. The Appalachians in there.
Canonically.
What are you talking about?
I still my feeling on it is that
It doesn't have to be. That's
it doesn't.
True.
Like there's nothing.
It can be anywhere.
Yeah, is that it's
And that
not,
was a deliberate choice. She could have had
Yeah.
any sort of indication from what the past was like.
It's not a straight up alternate history in the same way that like Man in the High Castle or something like that is. You know what I mean?
Another great one.
But anyway, so a lot of great just people added to this one that I think really enhance it at least and give you more people to care about too, which is beyond just Pete and Katniss, which I like a lot.
Of course. So getting right into it, after meandering for a while.
Getting right into it.
We like to do a little intro at the top. Just
15
talk about,
minutes after she said she wanted to get into it.
That part.
That's what we do. We always set aside a little time.
So we start off plot-wise, not too far after they've won the games. They've had maybe like a month or two off in between, but not very, very much. And with the books, this is pretty consistent with where that starts as well. We see her kind of adjusting to Victor life.
She starts out staring at like a frozen lake or something.
Yeah, the lake.
It's
Tears in
winter.
her eyes.
So
like,
the lake, in the books, the lake is where her father used to take her.
Oh, there's lore already.
There's more on
the lake.
everything, my
yes,
guy.
yes.
Oh
Well,
my
the lake was her ancestors that went to the lake first.
Lucy Gray.
By the way, and Lenore Dove as well. If you have not read the new book, go read it.
I haven't.
Ashley.
Shut up.
Ashleen Marceline, the Vampire Queen.
Ooh.
That was great.
Stop giving shit away. For free. For free.
Did we tell you we play Vampire the Masquerade?
Yeah, because we do. If Addie would damn it.
We try to. Yeah, we're waiting to
Do
play.
we
Vampire
do we play?
Masquerade.
I'm sorry.
It's cool. It's
Cut
cool,
that
it's
part
cool.
out.
No, you can keep it. So the lake is where her father used to take her. There is a cabin up there. This part is completely cut out of the movie. Understandably so. I forget that it's 2.5 hours. I do.
Yeah.
And it's pretty well done in that, we still get a lot in between that 2.5 hours that is consistent with the book. And in reality, I agree with it because these parts do lift right out, and they ended up, communicating them in the same kind of way, or in different ways, but getting the same message across, and a little shorter of time. So with the book, again, it's all in her perspective. So she's reflecting on her dad bringing her out here, and it's really kind of the only thing that brings her peace, mostly because she has hella PTSD. She started out book 1 with PTSD slightly
From her
right?
dad dying and stuff. Yeah,
just
yeah,
being-
yeah.
If we're
Remember-
sitting here like measuring mental illness.
A citizen of the districts, that'll do it for you.
Yeah, and so she has like a flashback while hunting with Liam.
Yep.
Shit, his name is
Gale.
Gale. My bad.
How could you forget? You hate him.
I know.
She's trying to forget.
She's
That's
trying
what
to
it
I
is,
am.
yeah.
I block
Yeah.
it out. I block it
Yeah,
out.
there's a
Yeah.
flashback where Jack Quaid pops up. Marvel.
Which I love it. I love this jump scare. That's one of my first notes. Is I love.
It's excellently
so
done.
cool. It's so cool.
The transition is seamless here.
Yeah.
She has that flashback, so she's clearly not well after the games. In the book, we talk about how she really just has not shit to do all day, and so she spends a lot of time in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're getting ready for the Victor's tour.
In the books, isn't she not even selling the meat she gets anymore? Isn't she just kind of giving it?
Yeah, so she gives it away, and then she tries to spend basically all of her Victor winnings at the Hob with all the vendors who did help
Give
her.
it back to the community.
Yeah, all the folks who kept her alive when her father had just passed and things like that. And she does give it to Gale's family as well. So the one of the key differences is that, and it's helpful that he's there because he kind of tells his story of he's started going to the mines and he's in it now. He's
I
an
hated
adult.
this line. I hated the line Gale had there where he's like, "Yeah, well, weeks in the mines will do that to you. And it's like, I've been working
6
so
days
hard.
a week. 6 days a week.
6 days a week in the mine.
Well, and he says
The
it
turkeys
like
will
it's
forget
there's
that you're
almost
even
a,
a
like a
threat.
coded like thing where he's just like, you haven't had to work. You know, he's not really saying that, but it's still just Gale like flexing his suffering.
Yeah,
You know what I
he's
mean?
not great.
A lot of this is projected. I do feel, I want to say, like last episode we spent like 20 minutes cumulatively shitting on Gale, which a lot of it is deserved, but like some of it is
We should
little
chill out a little bit.
egregious. Yeah.
But yeah, so he does talk about the turkeys. This is significant to me because it comes up later.
The turkeys?
Yeah, he hunts still just on Sundays because that's his 1 day a week off. He has he did bring a turkey to the head peacekeeper of their town, and that is how he gets to the flogging. It is not by his little selfless act. So the
yeah, that's
movie
right.
makes him look very noble in a way that the books kind of show that he's a little bit more self-serving, because there's no reason for him to really, like, yes, the money, but she's taking care of his family as best as possible as well with more than enough money that she
Well,
has.
it's him still having to be a provider, you know.
His little pride.
And keeping on good terms with the head peacekeeper, you know, like let me keep that connection. And it also, the fact that that's what they did in the books emphasizes more that he was doing this illegal activity for the peacekeeper.
Yeah.
But you know, as soon as the things change, that's not going to go over well.
Right. So I mean, I get it. I don't, you know, I guess we just didn't really meet the head peacekeeper last movie either too much. Like we didn't spend a lot of time.
It wasn't
Not
even
enough time?
Yeah.
I understand why it's lifted out. It just to me paints him in the movie in a better light than what he actually is.
I think
character-wise.
that might make it more in the love triangle more interesting though, if he is viewed as more of a
and that I did write that
know.
down. It's playing the
And he
love
is
triangle.
a hero. And in the end of this movie and the beginning of Mockingjay, there is something that he does that's quite heroic.
I don't know what it is.
The most anyone could do.
I'm excited to find out what it is.
He doesn't know.
We won't
I
tell
don't know.
him.
We can't tell him.
Cool. She does give him a little smooch, or he rather gives her a little smooch goodbye as she heads back into her little mansion house, which is gross.
Smooching's gross.
Yeah.
Smooch. Ew.
Ew,
Boys. Ew.
We did audibly ew every time there was a smooch on the screen.
Except for PETA and Katniss, which was
That boy devoured
It's a very.
the difference.
We'll get
it
to
the
was
yearning.
good. The yearning.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We all yearn for a PETA.
Oh, I don't.
Well, he does. Well,
A prettier PETA, maybe.
There we go.
but Katniss goes back into her which is pretty cool. I want to say like when she walks into like this like gothic courtyard that I guess is the Victor's Village.
So it's
or
supposed to
whatever.
look gothic because it's supposed to look abandoned, because the only
I love
person
it.
that's lived there for the last umpteen years is Haymitch.
And
Yeah.
very old architecture, even within.
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
the
because
world.
these were constructed when the towns or districts themselves were constructed.
Yeah.
And the Victor's Village itself has been essentially abandoned because even Haymitch living there is living in squalor
By
because he's
choice.
drunk.
He doesn't need a lot. Yeah. No. I love I love the visual of it though, and I really like that this starts out in winter. Something about that, like the chillingness of it.
You just like a...
Well, you don't get it I don't know. I feel like it's a rare like season you see in things, and I think just the seasonal opening of this like opening sequence is just really just adds a layer of dread to everything. you
Yeah,
know?
and going back to what
and it looks
Ashley
really
said
pretty.
about
It does.
the time difference, it's within the same year. You know, the first Hunger Games was around the summertime, perhaps, and then
Say spring, summer.
Yeah.
and then we get to Catching Fire in the winter, and the Victor's tour.
So she goes inside of her house. We pass the cat, which is Prim's beloved cat. Her mother and sister are there, and they're like, "How did you like your walk?" And she's like, "What the fuck? I wasn't on a walk." Like she starts to say that, and
The Secret Service comes in, or
and
whatever.
Prim immediately is like, "We have company." Like, and that's such a sisterly moment for me, where like you have that kind of rapport where you like, she's about to say some shit.
Yeah, like cut to it first. You know, stop her.
Yeah. And Snow is inside their house. This is disgusting. I love Donald Sutherland. I do. I hate Snow. And I love that there is an actor that I like that becomes a hateable character. That's one of my favorite things that can
Villain
happen
you
in a
love to
movie.
hate?
Yeah.
We love a villain to hate.
He plays it so well, and he has really great chemistry with J-Law. Is like that,
Yeah.
like, you know, like
Yeah.
they really do play off each other so well as, like, you know, mortal enemies. Yeah.
And they do the thinly veiled threats excellently.
Well,
These
it's
are written
his-
into the books, but they're also there's a way to portray them to where there's like a almost a fencing.
It's his big
Move
toothy
for move.
smiles and like his like just like big old bushy
I
eyebrows
think it's a
glaring
layer
at her.
of familiarity too. Like they know each other very intimately without having
Met, really,
technically known
yeah.
each other. Yeah, they feel like they have a very good understanding of the other person and their desires and fears, and
They recognize. I know this is more like lore that again I don't know anything about, but it's like they recognize. Like he recognizes what the Lucy girl or whatever in her, and I think she in turn recognizes in a hunter sense like a predator
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have that just an instinctual understanding of each other.
Yeah, and she in the books, especially in her perspective, she does view him as a predator. That does come up, and he says to her, so this is where she says something to the effect of, the berries, to where she is damned if she does and damned if she doesn't with the berries, because had she eaten the berries and died, she would have been dead.
Yeah.
that's a lose right there.
There's a lose.
Okay.
And then the other being her not eating the berries is defiant.
Yeah, he's upset that like the people in the districts are taking her act not as a, how does he put it? Like that was an act of defiance, not an act of like love. So he's basically threatening her and saying like, when you get on the trail, you fucking play that shit up that you're in love with that boy.
Make me believe it.
Make me.
And she's
Yeah.
like, so we need to convince the district. Oh, and he does let her know that there have been uprisings in the districts.
It's like, you haven't heard this, but just so you know.
And he gloats about Seneca being dead because of the berries as well.
Yeah.
And he says, convince me.
Well, and I like too what he says here is she has a line where she's like, it must be, he's like, if the whole system, it'll lead to an uprising, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, the system will collapse. And she's like, it's a pretty weak system if it, whatever, delicate system. And then instead of taking that as like more of a challenge, I like that Snow is honest. And he says, yeah, you're right. It is a delicate system. Not in the way you think, but you're right. And I think this comes back later in Mockingjay. I think he has a line in there from a clip I've seen where he's like, we don't lie to each other, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that is,
He says in this one, let's not lie to each other.
I love
Yeah,
that
the
in a
scene,
villain.
actually.
I love a villain who doesn't lie. That is so much more compelling sometimes than like a manipulator type
Now, you
character.
can't-
It's like he doesn't need to lie
You
Yeah.
can lie by telling the truth.
or omission.
Yeah.
But it's the same. It's the characterization that's communicated, even like I talked about last time, like with his wardrobe. The fact that he does not like dress all goofy like every other capital guy. Like Snow is a very plain, honest, but there's no glamour to him in a mask sense or in a like philosophy sense. Like he is a very truthful villain, which I just find really compelling.
So in the books, he says, convince me I know about the kiss. Or he whispers in her ear, by the way, I know about the kiss. The difference between the books and the movies is that he shows her on the hologram, and I like it better in the movie. I think it's more menacing that he just kind of shows her shows the footage of like what she thought was a private moment play out in front of her.
The kiss between her and Gale.
Yeah.
I can't get past the fact that kiss happened moments prior to this conversation, and he had the footage and he had it ready. That did irk me a little
Sure.
bit.
But
That's
that I
fair.
think
He
is
was
to also
probably in that office while that was happening, so he would have been, I guess, maybe
cool.
watching a live feed.
But that's I think more so to show the power of the Capitol in that they have cameras everywhere, and it's
For sure.
Because
It's
even
just the speed of it is
in
all
today's
right.
society, we have cameras
We have
essentially
surveillance state up,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would expect that in the future.
To me, in our society today, cameras are kind of bulky, right? Like you can kind of tell when they're around. In their society, you never know. You can't trust anybody. You can't trust anything. And I think that's where the precariousness of her position comes in.
Well, and this will come, honestly, as we're talking about it, the finale of this one is really buttoned on that same theme of surveillance.
Yeah. You never know when Snow is watching.
Well, and how does it end? With him not being able to see anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting
Yeah,
through line. That is
and that's
there.
where his power comes from. His knowledge is power. He knows everything because he's able to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get away with anything because he can see everything.
Right.
Shortly thereafter, Cinna and Effie and
The Capital Gang arrives.
all come in. So this is a little bit different. In the books, part of her Victor's lap is she's supposed to have hobbies. Peeta has painting, she has fashion design, and she's supposedly learning it under Cinna. And he does have her at some point, I think it's very early on in the book, start trying on wedding dresses. So I'm saying this now so that when we get to the wedding dress portion of Catching Fire itself, in her interview, her wedding dress is voted upon by members of the Capitol, by the districts, or not by the districts, but by the Capitol, I think.
Yeah.
And so it's like the reality TV portion of it for them.
Choose her wedding dress. Yeah.
Yeah. So because when I'm jumping around, and I know I am, but whatever.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But when we get to Plutarch saying she's picking out her wedding dress, floggings, that kind of thing, that is part of what is actually happening. That does happen in the books of her picking out her wedding dress. They do a whole like fashion photo shoot.
Cut to the E Network
and
doing
then,
her thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then cut back to executions, floggings, whatever.
Okay.
So there is a lot more for the public to kind of consume and hate her for. And the Capitol eats it up because the Capitol eats everything up.
Right.
But there's more happening in the districts where they are not paying attention to that, and they are more worried about the revolution. So the cameras come in, though, for Cinna and...
right. Yeah, they do the little, like, kiss in the snow shit.
Yeah.
As they like, kick off the tour or whatever.
So we don't really talk about it, but he slips because he doesn't have a leg. He's down a leg.
Oh, is he still limping from last time?
Homeboy has a metal leg at this point.
In the books?
Yes.
He has a prosthetic?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he already lost his leg.
He lost his leg?
Yeah, they weren't able to save it. So in this, I think...
It's not in the movie.
That's not in the movie at all.
No.
But I do vaguely remember it.
And so that's why it's even more endearing.
Is it a
that
cool
she's, like, kissing
cyborg
him in the snow.
leg?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Like better than prosthetics now.
Sure.
Yeah, so probably more like a robotic leg.
Okay. Shit, I never
Not like a
knew
thing
that.
he has to worry about losing.
Guys, why didn't no one tell me my boy Peeta's a fucking cyborg?
Yeah, so no, yeah, he genuinely is.
It gets
How long
worse.
were we sitting on this information? Oh no. I kind of know where it's going.
Yeah, so he slips in the snow, and it's more sweet because he's
Helps her broken man up. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we get
when he stabs her here though, when he's like, that almost felt real,
yeah,
and walks off.
and then we get one of my favorite lines when they're in the train getting ready to go on the tour, where he says, "Friends tell each other the deep stuff," and she's like, "Okay, like what?" And he goes, "Well, what's your favorite color?" And what does she say? You said it earlier.
No, that's taking it way too far. You've crossed the line. Like something like that.
Which, like, that is just, it's such easy banter. It's so, it's just effortlessly riz out this guy.
I didn't
dude.
find it as cute as you did. I will say, I'm like, okay, whatever. Looks like
It was
Listen, we
endearing.
love a forced proximity romance. That's what this is.
It is what it is.
And this is kind of also ahead of the trend of romances again. And I think we talked about this in the first
where they
one.
cover all the bases.
Yeah. Where here we go again. So we go into that where they have to fake it through the Victor's trip. They go to the first place they go to is District 11 because that's allegedly the closest one.
Right, because the bit is that they have to like go
But
and
who's in District 11?
Who?
Who died from District 11?
Yeah, they're not in it anymore.
Oh, my bad. They're not there.
The family of Ruin Thresh.
This is kind of where we start to see that there is really an uprising in the districts. We see it in the books, too. It's a lot more cloak and dagger in the books. So the way that we see it, Haymitch does pull them aside, and Effie indignantly rants about how uncivilized everything is with all the peacekeepers around.
It's scary. I do want to point out just like the set design or like the how it looks like they're in a prison courtyard, basically. I like the shot when they come up the road and they pass what I think is like a cotton field or like a clover field or something like that. Yeah, but it's like it's white. Like it's very deliberate, like the South. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like I love the visuals here of how just desolate and beaten down this area is. The district is.
Yeah, and I mean the district is predominantly black.
Mm-hmm. The visuals are very striking,
Peeta's my favorite, and they took it directly from the book. Peeta's line here is, "I can in no way replace your losses, but as a token of our thanks, we'd like for each of the tributes families from District 11 to receive 1 month of our winnings every year for the duration of our lives." You cut to Effie and Haymitch and Cinna backstage, where Effie's just pissed that he didn't follow the cards. Cinna is like, "Can he do that?" And Haymitch goes, "No, he can't."
He can't, but he did.
But he just did. And I think it shows the power that they have as
which
victors.
becomes a problem.
Right. And that's, I think if we didn't have that scene, you wouldn't feel as angry for the victors in this one. I feel like we wouldn't be as sympathetic
to them
towards all of them versus just Katniss and Peeta.
Yeah, you get it's like, and immediately after this, like when the kind of brawl breaks out here and they execute this guy, Haymitch grapples them and is just like, "You got to stick to the script, guy." Basically, he's like, we got to, like, this is the rest of your lives type thing.
This is also where we find out that Snow threatened their lives because Peeta nor Haymitch knew prior to this.
Right. But this whole episode, I think, like, teaches them that, like, they're not the first people to do this, to have to, like, go here and, like, sell some bullshit, to, like, do this dressing down of, like, every district and of yourself in front of them. And, you're not going to be the last either. And that's kind of what Haymitch is.
And these are the consequences of, like, defying openly. And these little people in the districts, we do not care about them. We will kill them.
Just the instant punishment for it. Like, the second they try to do, like, a nice thing and speak, openly and honestly, they're immediately, like, confronted with the punishment for it.
And they're told, like, you need to comply to save lives, essentially.
And this is also where Katniss realizes that she's given up her freedom for forever. Haymitch fully says to her, "This doesn't stop after," because she's like, "Please just help us get through this tour."
Right.
And he's like, "It doesn't stop after this tour.
This is the rest of your life.
Your mentors now.
Yeah, your mentors now. They're going to parade your romance in your personal lives every single time there's every games."
To distract everybody.
Yeah.
As a distraction.
And one of my favorite quotes, not one of my favorite quotes, but one of the quotes that I've highlighted in the book is, "One of the few freedoms we have in District 12 is the right to marry who we want or not marry at all. And now even that has been taken away from me.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if President Snow will insist we have children."
Oof. That's rough.
And so things like this where she is grappling, and you kind of see it on her face a little bit in the movie, but it's more so colored with the book of the depth of the hell that they are now in. Like, it didn't...
Well, I love how it's communicated, though, in the movie, just visually through their acting, but also, like, through the montage that, like, follows this, where, like, they're given the rehearsed speech to, like, everything, and, like, and you see her face. I love when, like, the one crowd calls out to her, it's like, "Say what you really feel," put down the card.
Because they know.
Exactly.
They know.
Yeah.
And this is where I think she is likable as a winner, is because they know she's a real person. They know that she has more shit to say than just what she's reading off of the script that she's been given. And she is beyond just the capital game.
It makes me wish that there actually were scenes of, like, the wedding dress and stuff like that. Like, if we did get more examples of the districts, like, not liking her, kind of like Plutarch is strategizing later. But on the other hand, maybe they do just, like, see through that too. They see the real her,
It implies in the books that the only folks that don't see through it is the capital.
Really? Okay.
Because as they go through these districts, there's one of the houses where they go in, or like one of the mayor's houses that they go into. It's her mayor's house because District 12 is the last stop on the Victor's tour. The mayor's house, who she's friends with the mayor's daughter, according to the books. She ends up in, like, his, like, his classified TV, essentially, is what she ends up in front of. And she sees that things have been happening in 8, in 11, in all these other places.
Which in the movie she sees on the train.
We see it on the train.
Yeah.
So again, we didn't have the mayor's...
It sounds like they're really efficient about sneaking in
the things that are, like, missing. Things that matter, that they had, the lore that they ignored in the first book or omitted in the first book and now have to make up for it. They do it very efficiently.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't have very much grief with the discrepancies between the book and the movie.
there's a very brief scene in between here with Snow and his granddaughter that is hilarious and dark, where she's wearing Katniss's braid.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Why would you start wearing your hair like that?" And again,
she's like, everyone at school wears it this way now. And it actually comes up again in the next movie.
Really, it keeps going. Okay. And you know what? You know who else? That reminds me of another little girl who did the same thing.
I don't know who that would be.
I have no idea.
Who would wear their hair like that all the time? That's strange.
With a leather jacket.
Leather jacket and boots?
Check out the visuals for episode 1.
Oh.
But
did you feel called out back then when this came out?
When she did that? No. It makes sense.
we do have footage of you from that time.
That's
crap, we do. In that outfit because I wore it so regularly.
We do. We do. Maybe it'll make an appearance.
Yes, we do.
That is so real, though, of just like the style catching on. You know what I mean? Catching
It
fire,
is.
if you will.
No, it is. They're
great.
celebrities in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you've got Mockingjay showing up in the graffitis.
I love just like the split-second shot of when that goes by is so cool.
So she's getting glimpses of the rebellion. I think the one discrepancy with this versus the book is that in the book, because she has seen like the classified TV, it comes up that District 13 is still
active
around.
Okay.
And somebody tells her, I don't remember whom, but somebody tells her, hey, look, like when they show the footage of District 13 and they seem to be doing like a live like newscast from there, there's a Mockingjay that goes across the corner of the screen that always
Every
goes
time because
across
it's the
corner
same
because it's the
footage.
same footage. They don't know what's happening in District 13.
Wow.
So I think that gives us more of a surprise factor at the end of this movie
By not including
that. However,
I would have liked the setup a little bit.
I would have liked the setup
Yeah.
a lot more.
Yeah.
I feel like she would have been a better better character for it, but this was also a decision, so whatever.
I don't know how you could have fit it in a way that felt natural.
Yeah, especially with how even as concise as this was, it was still 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I found this one a little bit less concise. I think this one dragged a little bit for me, but I'll get into it at the end.
So, but we do have the party in the Capitol where she meets Plutarch.
Yeah, give us Effie's like 17 iconic lines that go through this old little sequence.
Peter!
Attitude.
Oh, mahogany.
Eyes bright, chins up, smiles on.
You're good at that one.
She's great in this. She gets so much more to do. She gets a name. If we finally get her name.
Oh shit, she didn't have a name.
She didn't have a name in the first one.
Wow.
She has so many iconic outfits in this one. We love to see them.
Oh gosh, yeah.
The gold hair.
And then here's where we find the disgust for the Capitol with PETA and Katniss is where
Love this part.
they find out that the Capitol folks actually make themselves throw up
Bulimic, yeah.
to be able to continue to eat. And they drink a little potion, and basically they drink,
It's like a party favor that's created to specifically make you vomit.
and it's like it's served in cutesy little glasses. Like it's
Just like the champagne
it's
is.
whatever.
Yeah.
And they go and they throw up, and then they come back and eat more. And it's just
Disgusting.
the outrage that this man has. It's much more tempered in the movie than it is in the books, but I think it was done very well. It was done very classically, where he's like he literally hands off his stuff to whoever the Capitol person is in front of him at that time, which that's not what he was supposed to do. Like he should be giving it to a servant, and he didn't. He treated them like a servant at that point, and he was like, because he needed to get the fuck out of there, and he's like, I think it's time we dance. And this is where Plutarch cuts in.
Yeah, my
to
boy,
dance with her.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
So this is one of the foreshadowing pieces that we don't get in the movie that we get in the books. So he starts dancing with her, and it is thinly veiled. They are kind of barbing at each other, as she more than him, about Seneca being dead, and why in the world would you be doing this? And
because he's the new head game maker.
Yeah, and as they're dancing, I'll just read you the passage.
Yeah, go ahead.
Plutarch steps back and pulls out a gold watch on a chain from a vest pocket. He flips open the lid, sees the time, and frowns. I'll have to be going soon. He turns the watch so I can see the face. It starts at midnight. Okay?
Yeah.
Foreshadowing 1. That seems late for, I say, but then something distracts me. Plutarch has run his thumb across the crystal face of the watch, and for just a moment, an image appears, glowing as if lit by candlelight. It's another Mockingjay. Exactly like the pin on my dress. Only this one disappears. He snaps the watch closed. I wish we had this.
They almost say it. I think they do something equivalent. She's like, why are you here? Same reason you are.
I volunteered.
Like, yeah, I volunteered.
Yeah.
Like, it's some subtle dialogue.
It's much more subtle than that.
Yes, it is much more subtle than that. Yeah, and especially because Effie eventually comes in with the tokens for everyone, having gold tokens.
Well, that was more of a twist to me than
I think that's
anything.
Yeah, I think that's directly saying, like, you know, we immediately know he is a part of
the revolution.
She
doesn't in the book.
You don't know that in the movie.
She doesn't know that in the book.
Yeah, because
she doesn't. Because
Katniss, a part of Katniss,
she's a kid.
She doesn't trust
She's a
anybody.
Kid.
She's like, you're all out to fucking give me.
Yeah.
You know, Haymitch said himself, I never said she was smart.
And this is also... and this is
it's a good thing you're pretty.
This is also pre the victors being announced as part of the Quarter Quell.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then shortly after this, Snow comes out, which when she meets with him in her house, she says that he smells like roses and blood.
In the book.
Yeah. And I like that we got a little bit more on the nose here, where he raises the glass to drink his champagne during the fireworks, and he has a little backwash come out, which that's disgusting. But in theory, it's
almost involuntary.
In practice, backwash is gross to me. However,
the contortion your face is doing just thinking about it right now.
It's so gross that he did this.
I don't like it.
But blood comes out.
Blood comes back.
Mixes in with the champagne.
Yes.
It's a great shot.
So if you know what you're looking for, it's there.
Garrett and I missed it. Yeah, Ashley caught it.
I had to rewind it.
Great shot.
Because I thought it was just he spit up the champagne or something. But
I thought the liquid was red to begin with.
Right, yeah.
No, it's so subtle. It's so well done. It becomes a more of an issue in the next movie, I think.
Yeah.
But that really solidifies for me that, like, things are not well. This man is very not fine. In the head or physically.
Yeah. He does a little toast for her and then disapprovingly shakes his head.
It's basically the subtle in the book. That tells her she did not do her job in convincing him.
Yeah.
She had this whole tour to do so. She did not do so.
Yeah.
So they return to District 12, seemingly just to go about living their lives until they're supposed to mentor their candidates.
New peacemaker captain
Peacekeeper,
whatever, shows up.
Commander, what is his name?
Oh, I
Romulus what?
Romulus Thread.
Thank you.
This guy is acting his ass off.
Bro is angry.
I don't know if he's an actor or if he just was actually a cop.
He's giving drill sergeant. He's crazy.
Ice shows up.
Yeah.
And
they just start this toppling shit over and smacking. That's crazy.
Oh, well, they're tearing down the black markets.
I think so I think it's very interesting that she says that one of the few freedoms of 12 about the marriage thing very early on in the book. This is also pre her going on the Victors tour and then finding out like places like 11, they don't do anything without the peacekeepers around, because like in the book she fraternizes with the
she sells shit to them
with the
stuff.
peacekeepers in the black market in the Hob, and they sell shit to them outside of that. They know where their houses are. They hang out, and some of them are friends.
Well, the peacekeepers are also stuck in 12. So it's kind of it's like we are all stuck here. You know, I don't and the reputation of being a peacekeeper in 12, you're like the lowest of the low.
But you immediately see him, all of the leniencies that they've had with all of the black market shit, because they're not supposed to have alcohol. They're not supposed to have any of these things that they have, and being able to, communally get stew or things like that.
It's arguably hits heavier in the movie because there's
it's graphic.
Well, not only that, but there's not really any of that context given. Like, if I'm watching it, I don't really recognize that that's a black. I'm like, that's just a market.
They said right before.
Did they?
That was when Plutarch and Snow were talking, and
right,
was get rid of the black markets,
flogging.
Crack down
on the black markets, flogging.
And so right after that is when the peacekeepers are brought out.
This peacekeeper is especially vicious. Gale takes a running start and
He just tackles him in
Tackles
the
him.
middle of something. Yeah.
in the book, because he's about to beat an old lady.
Yeah.
In the books, he shows up to this guy's house. He'd gone hunting alone. He shows up to the head peacekeeper's house, which was their old head peacekeeper, to sell him turkey because this guy likes turkey.
Okay.
And it's the new peacekeeper who opens the door
Oh.
and then just takes him to the town square to flog him. So it's much more dramatic I think in the movies to do it this way.
Sure.
And I also see why you want Gale to be kind of likable because he's not quite a traitorous bastard yet. So I understand. I just don't love it. It's fine.
I think I've backed up a little bit on my Gale hate personally, because if I'm being true to myself, when I was younger, I did not totally hate him. I thought he was more of a brother figure to Katniss.
Just didn't like the romance.
Yeah,
angle.
I feel like the love triangle cheapens all of the characters just in general.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like this, there's a love triangle in it because it's a YA book and because she's a 16-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
But if this was, if they were adults, I don't think there would be the goofy little love triangle is kind
Because
of.
they have a developed frontal cortex.
Yeah, they don't know how to, interact with each other or properly like have a relationship.
It is, I guess, the YA. Again, this kind of goes back to like fandomization, right? Like, does it sell without it?
I don't think so.
Well, at that
Yeah.
time, that's what I was
Do
thinking.
you need a
earlier.
Team Jacob, Team Edward? Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
This was
was
around the
competing
same
with
time.
that.
Around the same time as Twilight, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I think if it was written today, it would not have had that element in that way.
Or it would
maybe.
be.
It does, because The Summer I Turned Pretty, we're still doing love triangles.
But The Summer I Turned Pretty does not.
But that's
deserve to be
about-
on par
but that's
with the
about-
Hunger Games.
No, but I'm saying that love triangles are very
But
prevalent.
that's
in
Maybe
specifically,
like-
but that's a
maybe like
rom-com
the
show,
Wednesday
right?
Addams
We're talking
show.
about like a genre movie or a genre fiction.
I
that's
guess
like,
because you had Divergent that came after it that didn't have necessarily a triangle. Actually, it didn't have a triangle at all. However, Hunger Games had to walk for Divergent to run.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely,
For sure.
absolutely.
so I don't know.
Something else about what was happening just then is when Gale attacks the Peacekeeper, it was right after Katniss and Gale were talking about running away.
Yes,
Right, yeah.
this is also canon to the book. They talk about running away. He's a little bitch about it.
They go back and forth. Neither one of them are up to it. It's
I
like
mean,
they
well,
keep-
realistically, they don't know what's out there. They've not left where they've been.
sure.
Even though they are a little bit more exposed because they've seen the other side of the fence.
What I like about it is that they clearly don't know what the moral right answer is here. Like, do I stay? Do I abandon everyone? Who can I protect? Who can I take with me?
I like that conflict. That's a
Like,
good
do I-
conflict to have.
Do I want to engage in this fight or do I want to do
Is there going to be a fight?
do I want to
You know?
comply to save lives? Like,
Yeah.
And I think that elevates it beyond the love triangle and helps us to get past it. If we didn't have that kind of conflict, I think we would really condemn this book a lot and movie a lot more.
I think it's very relatable to the present moment in a lot of ways.
100%.
It's like, do I stay? Do I, and see whatever, is going to happen?
Do I boil like a frog?
Yeah, or do I try and flee? Who knows?
And I think that's why you don't get a lot of conflict between Gale and Peeta specifically, because they're also in this world surviving this trauma. Like,
They're not taking anything personally.
I'm not going to take this personally
when it comes to Katniss.
Yeah. Like, this is, do I even have energy to waste on being jealous of this other guy?
Well, that's what makes Peeta win out, is that he does not seem to give a shit
If
about
anything, he
Gale.
supports it.
Yeah, you're right.
If anything,
Yeah.
he supports it, and he just wants what
The
Katniss
only
wants.
reason we'd hate less on Gale if Gale did, not give a shit about
Gail
Peeta.
wants Katniss. Peeta wants the best for Katniss.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's the winner.
Mm.
That's how he wins.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
He gets his ass beat here, flogged in the square.
which
Is bloody. This is brutal.
it-
Oh,
this is-
no.
this is
Shirtless
brutal.
Liam Hemsworth.
this is not as brutal as it is described in the books. In the books, his back is barely held
In
together.
shreds. Yeah.
It's like, and it's rough. Like, this is still rough. I'm
Some
not
Django
trying to
shit.
minimize it. It's still
Yeah.
rough. And if we got any more graphic with it, we'd have to rate it R.
Yeah,
it
PG-13.
would be more Passion of the Christ like looking.
Ugh.
But it's still pretty bad. Haymitch has to stop.
Everybody stands in the way.
Yeah.
The whole.
And this is a really good depiction of them using their power
As victors.
as
yeah.
victors.
Well, what I like too is that it reveals it reveals something about all of them, Haymitch included. Like Haymitch, specifically for him, like his development, Haymitch from last year doesn't do this.
No.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't
This
give
is a
a
dude
shit.
who's been given, in the same way that everyone has been given, like
A little bit of hope.
that spark of hope from Katniss and Peeta, both of them, that like that he stands up is huge. And I think we get into Snow's motive here.
But
in
I
the
also
next scene
think
with
this shows
Plutarch.
his diplomacy.
Sure, no, yeah, he's the best of both of them,
Diplomacy
really,
out the ass.
of Katniss and Peeta. Like he's a
Which is
survivor
especially driven
and
home
a
in the-
diplomat.
the most
You know what I
recent
mean?
book.
Albeit drunk, but, whatever. We all have our faults.
But Haymitch even more so. Like it's one thing if Katniss or Peeta like stand up, right, and like Snow is like, well, I knew you fuckers were gonna do that. That Haymitch steps in, to me, really pushes it over the edge in what he says next, where he's like, we got to take out their whole species, meaning victors. Which
Oh, that's Snow,
yeah.
not Haymitch.
Not Haymitch. I'm saying that Haymitch specifically to me is like the straw that breaks the camel's back, where it's like, if that fucker is getting up and making a stink, then we have actual problems. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Especially because Haymitch and Snow have history.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
I don't know that.
I wish you guys did.
Oh,
But in the books, it's because, again, we are purely in Katniss's perspective, she kind of mentions that it seems convenient that the Quarter Quell is based on victors, but we get it confirmed in the movie that Snow and Plutarch, and I like that as an audience, we are not sold as to what side he's on.
Plutarch?
At this point. Where he's like, he is...
At least in the movie.
He seems just as demented as Snow. In that he's
well, more so. I really,
Yeah.
I went into this knowing the twist about Plutarch, but if I'm role playing as if I don't, the fact that it is just chummy Philip Seymour Hoffman who's just like smiling and laughing, especially when he does the like, what dress is she gonna wear? Floggings. Oh, look at the happy couple. Execution. Like that delivery is so
good.
It's so casual, and it's like he's more ruthless than Snow
No, he
is,
is.
but with like half the menace, which makes him more menacing.
Yeah.
It's whereas Snow is just like, I'm kind of, he has a little more of like a gravitas to him, but Plutarch is just, I love characters, and Hoffman is one of those actors that's really good at this, who is just some guy. Plutarch's just some guy, and when just some guy is talking like that, it's very unsettling.
Dang,
I
he's
do-
actually not just some guy. Is what I was gonna say. Is that Plutarch is in a unique position because the Heavensbees are like societally on.
Oh
par
yeah,
with the
because we do
Snows.
find out that Heavensbee was one of his
Hilarious Heavensbee was in
was
school with Snow.
back in the day.
And
But I
then a
just
little
mean-
tidbit you get in one of the new books too is that the Heavensbees are the only ones who still had books out of.
But just
Oh,
in the
damn.
way he carries himself, though, I mean, we're like, just like Snow, like he's not dressed to like some weird capital
He's not
nines.
pompous.
He's not pompous.
Yeah,
there's
because
no-
Seneca had the weird ass beard.
He's also not playing into the capital,
Right, yeah.
like just as much as he has to. And he really works Snow over this entire movie.
Yeah, and he does it very well.
It's very
I
satisfying.
do want to call back to our previous episodes with Philip Seymour Hoffman in Twister.
Yep.
Where he is much more happy-go-lucky. He's our
It's night and day.
he is our what is it, comedic relief
Comic relief in that one. Yeah.
Twister.
Taking every one of the sucks.
What's the age difference there? Is that like a 10, 20 year?
I'd say
Prob-
30
30?
almost.
Yeah, that was
'Cause they're
96, 97, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is 2013, so like, yeah, like something around there.
20 years.
We're not math.
Which this was like one of the last, right?
Shit, no, because it was 17 years.
Yeah. And this was one of the
18.
last things, I think, like we get into like his last movie, I think, here with the next one coming
Yes,
up, which
that is correct.
So I at minimum, I love that this introduced him to like people our age as an actor. It's really cool.
Before we get into the next part with the Quarter Quell, I do want to go back a little bit. Katniss and Prim are collecting snow to put on Gale's
On
back.
Gale, we heal Gale, yeah.
Prim has a very mature conversation with Katniss here where she says, you don't have to protect us. You don't have to protect me. You don't have to protect Mom. We're with you. And I think that really gives Katniss the gravitas to move
I liked
forward.
this. I liked it a lot. I like that we got more Prim. We still don't get enough Prim. I think like across both of these movies, I'm like, Prim is such a motivator for her, and I don't think we see enough of her. To the point where I was like blindsided in the scene where she is healing Gale and she's like super competent, and she's suddenly a little doctor. And I'm like, where did this was not the cute little girl from the last movie. Where the fuck is this character coming? You know, and you guys were like, well, her mom was actually a doctor. You guys started throwing lore at me, and I'm like, okay, well, like that didn't come up at all last time. I don't know.
Just like Effie's name, it was just like
it was just like, okay, so this Prim was a very different character this time around to me, and I liked her, but it definitely was like I could have been eased into that more, I guess, a little bit.
Well, also in the books, it talks about especially from Katniss's perspective, while she sits through the night with Gale, as where she talks about how she's never understood the family members who sit with their loved ones on her sister and mother's table. And they seem to go into this place in their mind where they're able to just kind of calculatedly deal with whatever is in front of them,
right?
Whoever's wounded. Obviously, it's not necessarily been this bad before, peacekeeper-wise, but there's been mine accidents and what have you. They are able to handle this and people being in pain extremely well, and she cannot. She can't stand, and she can't even stand really the sight of blood.
Katniss.
Yeah, she's very nervous around it. You ask her to kill an animal, she's completely fine. She can do it all the livelong day, and apparently kill people too. But as far as keeping them alive and trying to mend them back together, she does not have the stomach for it. And she does talk about it in the first one when she's trying to mend Peeta a little bit with his leg. My mom and my sister are the healers. That's not me.
And it really makes it harsher, the fact that she has to kill people. Like, for her to be so squeamish, she's used to killing animals, to now have to kill other children. That's, it makes sense why she responds with such, like, intense disgust and hatred for the concept.
Oh, absolutely. And you get more of a picture of her in that, I think.
Yeah.
By
like
with the
tidbit.
contrast,
yes,
being actually like, because she's really blubbery in this one comparatively,
and it's really to highlight that she is still human. She lost a little bit of her humanity, as anyone would, in killing others. You see that a lot with the PTSD that she has, but it also shows that she's still a person. But we do get shortly thereafter the announcement of the quarter quell, which is purely because...
Well, before we get into the quarter quell, we are sitting about an hour.
Yeah.
So we can maybe break here, and when we get back, we can come back to
the games.
We also got to smooch Gale before the
quarter
quell
quell
announcement.
While he's laying on the table... that Florence Nightingale syndrome.
Yeah.
She just can't stand to see anyone in pain.
Again, the whole first half of this movie that we've been talking about, the main point I want everyone to take away is that we've smooched Gale a couple times, more than we needed to.
And I think it's
awkward,
more
uncomfortable
than we needed
smooches.
Yeah. When we get back, we'll get back to the fucking action. All right.
Yes.
Enough of this kissy shit. Let's kill some fucking people.
Let's kill
in the
some
game.
people.
We'll be back. Go ahead.
Mwah.
And
You did like the Dua Lipa song there. Do you remember that one?
Mwah.
Mwah. Yeah.
If you don't like the way...
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
We're big Dua Lipa fans.
Dua
in
Lipa,
this
if you're
household.
listening, I know you're engaged, but hear me out.
No, don't hear him out. Please, he'd be unbearable.
You guys should start a cover band called Duo Lipa.
No.
But only one person should be in it. Should be a deceptive thing. Right? Like a misleading.
No, there's two people, but one of you is just dressed as the other person's shadow.
It's getting really high concept.
Oh, Lord. Anyhow, we're back.
We're back where Peeta goes to wake Gale up with the kid. Oh, sorry. That was a fanfic I was just reading. Let me just close out of that.
Wattpad novel.
Yeah.
I want to have two boyfriends. And
I want my boyfriends to be
kiss.
boyfriends. She
So-
really is bouncing between them, this one. You are right. Like, the love triangle is... I don't know that's necessarily weighing it down, but it's definitely, like, a bigger part of it than I...
It's more than it
care.
is in the books too, honestly. It's there, but it's not it's more so that she just doesn't know what she wants. And I guess that's a way to communicate it, but we couldn't have had her just staring into the distance. I guess it's not as
I
dynamic.
like the idea that she is still a teenage girl. I think there's something to be said that yeah, for all of her maturity and her badassery, like
She couldn't have liked a boy band or
No,
something.
she's just a
Like-
girl.
The lack of communication kills me because what do you mean it has been however many weeks between the end of the Hunger Games and now the Victory Tour, and you have not like debriefed with PETA? You haven't talked and been like, okay, yeah, we're about to have to go back
Who
into
did you
this.
talk to when you were 16? I have questions. Did you fully communicate
Like,
with them?
directly.
This is actually that came out way more attacking.
Who all did you talk to? When did you meet?
But like
with
dead
them?
ass, like
You know what? I don't think I always communicated well. I probably communicated wrong a lot, but I tried. I tried to communicate.
like you didn't sit there in your head about it and overthink it, like that, like
Oh, I overthought.
That's what I mean.
overthought it.
Is
'Cause
she's
I'm
she's a
sure.
girl.
yeah. And I think too, like
No, but she's also trying to survive in this world. Like, why did Haymitch have to be like, hey, we're not...
I understand.
But I also feel like,
Like,
to her, it's in her head, right? Like, because, like, in the games with PETA specifically, she was just trying to survive. She leaned into the romance to get them out of there, right? That was the whole point. And then PETA, surely that's what he did too, right? Because, like, she can't fathom anybody else not being as, like, I don't want to say ruthless, but like ruthless with their feelings. It's like to her, emotions have always been like a weapon to be wielded. And she kind of says it too when she like talks to Gale about running away, where he's like, "Do you love me?" And she's like, "I don't have."
You know
She's
how
like,
I. She's like,
how I feel
you know
about
how
You know
it.
how I feel about you.
She's
But
so
she also
dismissive,
says,
yeah.
she also says, "I don't have the space to, or like I don't have the time to
worry about
that
that.
kind of thing."
It didn't feel dismissive to me. It felt more like I can't say those words to you, but
Sure.
like,
Oh, it
you
was
know,
definitely dodging.
You
It's
know that you are
definitely dodging.
up
Yeah.
there with my mom and my sister in terms of importance.
Yeah.
Which means he's like her cousin, man. Like
She always
You're
kind of
kissing your
describes
cousin.
him that way, and he kind of pushed for it.
well, and like in the books, in the books too, he is touted as her cousin.
Yeah, but the reality is that if she had never gone in the game, she probably would have married him someday.
True.
I think that's
True.
the reality.
True.
So, do you? I have a semi-philosophical question for you because I don't know how I feel about it.
Sure.
But would you call Gale also forced proximity? Like, would you call that
Lack of options.
Lack
type
of
thing.
options.
Sure.
But I think it's more than that. Like, who else? in
like
that
Pete is
district-
definitely forced proximity, but is Gale also forced proximity?
What are Katniss's hobbies? Shooting things in the woods.
Yeah.
Who else goes in the woods but Katniss and Gale? Like,
Yeah, so it's forced proximity.
like they live right next
It's not
to each
forced.
other.
It's chosen proximity. They have similar interests and they have similar responsibilities as like the main breadwinners of their homes.
Yeah,
yeah,
having
and they
to
have
take care of their
younger
homes.
siblings to look out.
There's
for.
something, it's the same
and their
as
dads died
yeah.
in the mines.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's definitely giving like high school sweethearts, like we grew up and never moved beyond our hometown
For
type
sure.
shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think that's necessarily forced proximity, but that is just circumstantial limits. You know what I mean?
Convenience, marriage of convenience. Is that
Sure.
would be what that is? I can't talk. Speaking of convenience, it is convenient to me, and we see it in a deleted scene. You wanted to talk about it. That the quarter quell suddenly was written
Yeah, so briefly
75
yeah.
years ago, allegedly, that all of a sudden on the 75th year, when the victors are starting to realize that they have power, they have to go back into the games.
Right. So the quarter quell, to clarify, and I'll try and simplify the lore.
This is gonna be fun.
Every 25 years?
Yes.
Every 25 years, there's a special variant of the games, but with the twist and some kind of gimmick.
Year 50 was when
It's like
Year
Big
50
Brother.
was twice the
when they-
tributes. That was
yeah.
when Haymitch was in the games.
correct.
It's like
And
Big
then-
Brother when they bring back all the people, the one Big Brother, and they all are like an American Idol where Carrie Underwood and Kelly Clarkson have to duke it out. Is basically the equivalent of what's happening.
Kelly Clarkson wins.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, she does.
The first quarter quell was the districts had to vote for who the tributes would be, which is brutal. I think that's an awesome concept.
It's lottery type shit. It's like the lottery.
Yeah,
type
very
stuff,
much so.
yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. But the deleted scene was Plutarch.
And the one that Haymitch competed in the other one, which was like double the tributes.
We already talked about that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going in order.
listening.
We're going in order now. Everyone's trying to.
Yeah. Oh man, I cannot wait till we're talking about Haymitch's games.
It's going to be a couple years.
Man, I mean, I think the movie's coming out next year.
I have Fourth Wing to read. I have.
Oh, don't we read Fourth Wing?
It's ridiculous.
Why?
I've heard it's overrated.
It is.
I cried. It's fine.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's too late for me.
Well,
I'm in the cult.
I haven't read it, so I can't say. But with the deleted scene, he switches out the envelopes.
Because they're pre-decided. I did not realize this until y'all brought it up in the break, is that the themes or whatever of the Quarter Quells were pre-decided decades ago.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does. It is he switches out whatever the pre-decided one was with his
The envelope for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which Katniss kind of in the books, especially in her perspective, is like, it seems awful convenient, but she doesn't really question it too hard because she still is kind of still believing in the system in the sense that this is just what it's supposed to be.
It's the way it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind this being cut though. I think this is a lot of extra lore that we don't
I think
need in movie form.
I just think it specifically in the scene, there's so much of him just walking down the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
That too. Yeah.
It's already a long movie. We can't waste time.
But I also like that we have Plutarch and Snow specifically talking about it in the sense of like, this is what we call a wrinkle. And he says, you know, her entire species has to be eliminated. And that really, to me, sells, I think, to what we kind of dance around, we never fully say, especially with Snow and Plutarch's conversations. And maybe somebody should have fucking said it to him. You can't kill her off because you create a martyr for the cause.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And nothing moves people like a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that we kind of know as a trope, but they don't ever actually talk about. And I think it is kept in mind in Plutarch's mind anyways. Obviously, as we find out, he does want a savior for for the revolution. But it's just very interesting that for Snow who seems to be so cunning and so calculated to a certain extent,
That he misses this?
He's losing grip with, and we see why when we go back to the games that he was a mentor for, to see that he is just so out of control.
It's one of the things that does take me out of it, and I kind of, it's why I have a conflict with where the whole thing is going in terms of being now like a teen dystopia revolution, like this turn it takes, right? It's why I like in concept like the first one where it does just end with Katniss on the bus heading home. It's like, I guess we're stuck like that. You know, I like that almost definitive ending where like, yeah, she made it out. Yeah, Peeta made it out. But are things really going to change? It's a little ambiguous. Whereas this one now, it starts to veer towards the revolution thing, which means that like Snow has to be a villain and a villain has to make mistakes for there to be a plot. You know, like more plotty things that just have to happen for a story to happen start happening. Whereas the first one was more just like, what if?
Yeah.
What if Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hunger
what if
Games?
Hunger Games? And then now we're getting into more like themey stuff, which is fine. But, you know, like I like where the story's going, but I'm still conflicted in the sense that it has taken a direct shift from regular dystopia to YA teen dystopia fight the man type shit.
Yeah, and he as being the man that is being fought. I get that he's supposed to have flaws. I don't love this flaw of his. I don't like the loss of control, especially for somebody who seems to have such control in all aspects of his life. I prefer the
thing too is like it's been 75 years. He's been president for half of that or something like that.
At minimum half.
You're right.
Uh-huh.
You know, and now all of a sudden, again, it's the same thing. It's the same problem I have with Cinna, where like Cinna's the first guy ever to like do a cool costume.
That's just how it seems.
That's what I mean, though.
Well,
it's like
he's the first guy ever to do a cool costume for 12. That not
For
a cool,
12?
not a cool costume. In
right,
general.
but one that like took the country by storm and made to everybody like this one girl
Well,
or this
they're
one
used
guy.
to liking 1 and 2. Like They're supposed to...
Right, so it's like, but that's what I'm saying, though, is like nowhere in the 75 years has there ever been like one person that's caught on in the way that Katniss has caught on. There has, and you get that context in the prequels, especially the most recent one, but you're right that like not having that context, it's like, but when you do get that context, it's very clear that the revolution was actually waiting for Katniss. It's like, it had been in the motion.
And again, it is just like building up over time.
Yeah, it's like she says, where like inevitably a system like this is unsustainable. You know what I mean? Like historically speaking, this is also very true. You know, like fascism collapses it on itself. You know what I mean? Like that's just what happens.
Well, she's your Archduke Ferdinand.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Historically, nothing
special about him.
Yeah. One thing will inevitably happen that will like break the house of cards. Right. Mm-hmm. And we're just happen to be in the timeline.
Yeah.
In the moment in the timeline when Katniss is that one thing.
She was like in the right place at the right time with the right conditions. That's a big thing that's overall kind of driven home, is that she had a lot of luck in her corner.
All that being said, it doesn't make it any less like frustrating and just a little like needle in the back of your brain that's just like, why is Snow making mistakes? Why is it just now that things are like falling, whatever, you know?
I guess in the context of the prequels, I'm thinking it through, because she is so close to Lucy Gray's character, like
that's why it gets under his skin.
He does have just a predisposed rage and loss of control when it comes to a girl from 12,
especially someone the Covey
with a fire.
And it sounds
directly related.
It sounds like she, like Suzanne Collins, probably walked away maybe with like some of the same thoughts we're having, and she was like, well, let me go back and like inform some of, add more context to like these characters and how these situations deteriorated.
And I mean, she did it well. She's addressed a lot of it in the prequels.
Yeah. Like very well done.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're gonna, make more books about your super successful series, don't be a sellout. Like, add more context that adds depth to the whole world.
I think it's also the fact that she's so intentional about writing those. Is she's like, I'm not going to write more unless there needs to be written. It needs to be written.
Susan Collins is healing for every J.K. Rowling.
Every kid that grew
up with Harry Potter.
Yeah, I think it's still fine to like Harry Potter. There's a separation of the author you can do, but that's we'll get to those when we do those.
Well, you get the
Quarter Quell.
You get them announced. I did want to talk about this very briefly. In the train ride from 12 to the Capitol.
Before we get to them, let's talk about the reaping scene itself, because we've kind of skipped ahead a little bit.
I have. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because we do have what is, I think, a really great micro performance from Elizabeth Banks here. In her so great, beautiful monarch butterfly, which contrasts the situation beautifully. Like I think that's something that like Effie weirdly does as a character, is she looks so silly, but she'll be saying very sad lines, or she'll be placed in these really desolate scenes like this, which is just a very fun. It's a visual that like holds your attention. You know what I mean?
It's like show don't tell.
But I love her.
But it's supposed to also show the contrast of the Capitol's idealism of life versus what life actually is.
Her mini arc in this, really, of her like realizing just how brutalized
life is.
They are, is great. And so I love her like breathy delivery of like when she pulls Haymitch's name. I love the absurdity of her pulling out the single thing with Katniss's.
Yeah.
And then just looking at Katniss and seeing the single tear coming down, which, of course, Jennifer Lawrence, excellently done. The one single onion tear coming down her
She's
cheek.
very weepy in this one.
I love it. I think that her expression feels so authentic.
It does. And then you get Effie essentially breaking because of seeing Katniss break.
It's a huge contrast.
Which she didn't break in the first one.
She never breaks.
No.
Like,
she didn't break in the first one.
She doesn't even break, when she's acknowledging things that are awful.
Yeah.
Like, she's still trying to be chipper.
She's always the positive force in their thing. And you see, too, like, you see it on the train when they're first going on the victory tour a little bit, where she's like, you get to experience all these things. You're privileged to experience.
You're so lucky.
Yeah, that's what it is. And Katniss is like, I'm fucking lucky. Like,
Well, the fact that it goes from that to you both deserve so much better
Yes.
in their final goodbye.
That
Again,
too.
I love the
character development. We get her name.
It's huge. It's huge.
It's
Big
great.
leaps and bounds.
But PETA volunteers in place of Haymitch, and but they're dragged in. We cannot forget.
We get the
Goodbye.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's like, we get to say goodbye. We get to say goodbye.
And they're dragging her into the train. Yeah. So this is
We did also skip when they find out that they're going to be reaped. That
Right.
Katniss immediately has she crashes the fuck out.
She's like, I gotta get away. I gotta get away.
She
Says
runs
nothing.
the fuck to the woods, which is canon to the book. In the book, it's a little bit more of an issue for her to get back because the Peacekeepers restoring the electric fence. I think it's fine that we don't have that portrayed in the book because it's more so about her running away and that being her default action. Whereas PETA's first thought is to go to Haymitch and say, you have to do everything you can to make sure she survives. And Haymitch calls it out, and he's like, what does it say about you that 45 minutes ago PETA was here begging
asking
for
me
your
the same
life?
thing. Yeah.
And now you're here. And
You
She's
could live
like,
100
yeah,
years.
I know he's a better person than me.
yeah,
Like-
and they say it too, again, kind of, Haymitch says it very callously to her. He says, you could live 100 lives and still not deserve that boy. Clock it. Because, what? And also, the fact that he really retained his humanity. He is the only one of them. And I think that this is what he was kind of saying. Is
You mean
that
PETA?
Yes, PETA is the only one of them, of any of the victors, who's really retained his humanity outside of the games. Everybody else has done what they needed to survive.
Despite being completely alone, you know.
And lost their humanity on the
PETA
way.
is all heart.
Yeah.
There's actually something I did want to kind of mention that was annoying.
Please.
Oh boy.
We love that on this show.
Go ahead, let's go.
No, it was
There's a 50-50 shot, I'm with you.
it was when he found out that Katniss had the visit from President Snow and that things were their families were at risk. And he was like, Katniss, don't you think I deserve to know? I have family too. I have people I care about too.
Right. Not really.
Totally goes out the window. He said that though, and then at the end, he's giving Katniss the locket. Spoilers.
Oh, and he's just like, no one cares about me.
He's like, no one cares about me. If I die, it's whatever.
Right.
But just
I did find
that bugged me. It was directly
that is
contradictory.
That is very
inconsistent.
annoying, actually.
Yeah.
But I do think it calls back to the first book. It's really more so that his parents don't give a shit about him.
Yeah.
He does have family to protect, and yes, he obviously would want to, but his parents fully believed that Katniss was going to be the victor.
Yeah.
And they didn't give a shit about him. And I think that's a callback to that.
That doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't want
Care
to
about
protect them because
Yeah.
he's PETA.
Yeah.
He's
think-
all
but,
hard.
But there is, so there is also a quote in the book where he says, my nightmares are usually about losing you. I'm okay once I realize you're here. Her nightmares are about the games.
Game.
His are
Talk
about
about game.
Yeah, boy got riz out the ass. And I guess that this is the yearning part of him, where she is the son. Mm-hmm. She is his son.
Well, the whole part. I mean, in the first
It's a Gray's quote.
Okay.
In the first games, before he even confessed his love to her, he was going to be all about just letting her succeed. If I can die, that gets her a step forward to victory, then that's a good death. Mm-hmm. He was fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he loved her that
Well,
much.
it does go
he
both.
was yearning.
And he still does. He still does.
Well, and it
He
goes
never
both
loses
ways
it.
with
Well-
Katniss, asking Haymitch to save him when possible. So it's mutual.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We get more, which again is annoying that she's freaking pulled between him and Gale all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, to me, there's a clear winner here. It's obviously
It's
him.
so clear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her actions speak.
Outside looking in. I'm not in the situation.
I'm not Katniss.
Mm-hmm. So on the way to the train, I do again speak just to continue.
Goodbye!
We get her pulled in and she says this. They should have cut this scene just slightly with her being pulled off screen. We didn't need the random goodbye at the end. That was just kind of goofy. There's a couple things like that.
I think it is necessary.
They have a couple. This is one of 2 or 3 times this movie where
I think
she
it's
does a
necessary
thing.
to show. No, I really think it's necessary to show how much their lives have changed, like how much the heat has been cranked in the boiling water.
Sure.
Is that like
They don't get the goodbye
They don't
room
even
anymore.
get the common decency of saying goodbye when they're about to go die.
Yeah.
They just need another take on it.
I gotta say though, there was a thing with Jennifer Lawrence that we gotta remember. When The Hunger Games was coming out, everybody loved Jennifer Lawrence, like
Sure.
a lot. Her quirkiness, her weirdness, and then like on a dime, everyone suddenly hated it.
Right.
It's like, no, I hate how quirky she is.
Yeah.
So those strong feelings about Jennifer Lawrence were at play during this. So I think her little quirky moments, like the goodbye, the way she said it, stuff like that.
The real her slips in.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, you know what? We love the real Jennifer Lawrence.
She gets, well, Katniss, I guess, does get to be a little bit more human. That, or we just know her better now. You know, I don't know, but I just think there's some edits we could have done.
I think they do a good job of making her seem graceless. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Inelegant.
Yeah, she may have matured games wise and survival wise, especially politically, but she has not. She's still a 16-year-old girl.
She's always just been someone who's dealing with what is put in front of her.
And
I
she
think
only
that's-
has the space to deal with what is exactly in front of her
Yes.
right now.
And that's what's up with Peeta and Gale, is she's like, you know, this was just presented to me. Like, I have strong feelings for two guys all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know what to do about it. I didn't make this choice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the pressure comes from them
Mm-hmm.
and their circumstances.
We
So
get to the Capitol, and then we get into Haymitch's
So Haymitch-
presentation of
so this-
all the people.
In the books, this has shaken up Haymitch so much that he can't even deal really at first. Like, he's not dealing. In the way that we see him dealing, like, he's like very well adjusted in this movie. And I think this is more so to let Woody Harrelson shine, I think, and to not squander the fact that you have Woody Harrelson here. In the books, he just kind of slinks off and
Secludes
is
himself.
completely unhelpful, and Peeta really has to shake him to make him help them. In the books, they go through film kind of like what you do with any sports, where you go through your opponent's film. So they go through all the other games and watch them, and they also watch Haymitch's games in the books to see how he wins. And that's Haymitch's games is where the force fields start up, and that's actually how she figures out the force fields in the games. I do like the delivery as much as I would have loved to see that. I understand that's a lot of work to go in to show like that footage.
It's easier just to have him exposit it.
It's easier just to show like the interview shot or the Victor shot, and then go from like, hey, this is who they are. I do like Haymitch's delivery, blase delivery of, especially I think she was from District 2, maybe 1, the career girl who has
Enobaria.
career
The fangs.
woman who has the fangs, and she's had all of her teeth filed down to fangs. As we discussed while we were watching it, I think it's wasted that we don't get to see her use them or do anything with them. However, it's also very gruesome to do that, so that's rough. But very
These
cool.
books are not, like, they are gruesome. They
Yeah.
are gruesome books.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta keep it PG-13 for the theater so the
You
kids
do.
can actually watch it.
Something about that scene that I really liked was the Avox in the background.
Yeah, this is more lore stuff that doesn't make
Muzzled
sense.
Avox,
Well,
by the way.
that's the point. They were muzzled. Like, this person standing back there in some sort of creepy looking mask, and
Which
they're clearly a servant. And I think it's kind of like,
They already had their tongues cut out, so why do they need a muzzle?
I know, yeah, it's like for submission or some shit.
Well,
Like,
it's also because she knew the
oppression.
last couple. She's starting to know them.
That
She's
too.
starting to know them, and she knew them in the last of games. Like, it was somebody she recognized.
and I mean, even you can communicate with facial expressions, and if you're really
Yeah.
trying to stamp out a rebellion. But I just liked the way it felt like it was emphasizing, Katniss and Haymitch and Peeta are in this shitty situation. Look at that person back there who is in even worse of a situation.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it goes a long way to show the difference in the uprising and how they're cracking down on everything and everyone, even in the Capitol.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah, just the gruesomeness of what these citizens have to experience and go through. Getting to the training and stuff, I loved the training center design.
Well, first
yeah.
we go through the little thing. What is it? The chariot route.
Oh, the Victor Parade or whatever.
We meet Finnick with the sugar cubes.
Finnick O'Dare.
I trade in secrets. Which what secrets did he trade to get onto their side, number one, that's a question that we've never get answered. I have questions. What secrets did Haymitch trade?
I didn't even catch that
I
was
don't
relevant.
think that had to be a thing.
I mean, yes, he's probably just part of the revolution and wants to do what he can to help out, but like, did he need convincing? You know what I mean?
Did Haymitch need convincing?
Did Finnick need convincing to help out?
Finnick seemed like he wanted it. Like, because Finnick has his own, all of these victors have reason to hate the Capitol, and especially Finnick because he was sex trafficked. So.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was sex trafficked.
Yeah.
He traded secrets because he was getting.
That's what Katniss says
He was
to
having
him.
to sleep with these political people, and he would learn.
It's like,
shit
how
from
much do
them.
people pay for your time or something like that?
I forgot.
And then he has just raw power because, like, I know this about you.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
You're right.
So Finnick is hot boy in a like kind of sad way. Who else do we have?
Joanna. We meet Joanna in the
Right. Well, they
the
do the
Atlanta Marriott.
They do the parade, and Katniss and Snow have another stare down.
Which
is
the
great.
distance is nuts for this stare down, boys.
I like that you pointed that out. It's true.
Like,
and it's in all of them.
Like, the contempt is just so palpable. I like how well done that is. It's just excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, just great chemistry, just looking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like,
So much communicated with just a 30-second look, if not, if 30 seconds.
yeah,
if that.
the acting chemistry,
Yeah.
like between the two actors, is good.
And then we meet who's the one-armed dude again?
Chaff.
He's not big.
Chaff. Yeah.
He's
I thought he would.
Haymitch's buddy.
It feels like things got cut with
They
him
were all
or
trying
something.
to razz Katniss.
Well, we find out in the books, he's one of Haymitch's old buddies. They drink together.
Okay.
They kind of allude to it in the way that Haymitch introduces him.
Yeah.
When they're talking about through the film, they are reluctant to go through it with him they're reluctant to kill him because he was Haymitch's friend.
Friends, yeah.
Okay. And then we meet Joanna in the elevator.
Which
It's great.
Best scene of the movie. No.
I like
that she.
It's just kind of there.
I love the stare down. I love how she
her
looks at
eye
the
contact.
boys,
She doesn't say one fucking word.
Katniss's face.
Everyone's face.
Yeah.
Harrelson's face.
Katniss's
Oh
face
my
is so
gosh.
outwardly disgusted. It's so good.
Little PETA.
I love the
Just like,
dudes.
oh
Can you
boy.
unzip? Yeah, sure.
He's like, yeah, I'll oblige you. Like, whatever.
All right.
And it's in. I do want to point out the Atlanta Marriott.
Oh, right. Yeah. The iconic Atlanta.
Which we should go take some pictures there.
Yeah, used for every sci-fi movie from here to Loki.
Probably before here too.
It looks good. Yeah. She looks good.
Okay. Well, you saw her from the neck up,
Sexiest tree I've ever seen.
bruh. For real.
Yeah, no, it is actually hilarious that they put her in the ugliest shit.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's kind of the joke, I guess, but it's really funny.
Now we get into the training, and they do have like a discussion, like dinner, basically, where Haymitch and PETA and Katniss are discussing who their allies are going to be, and she says
She takes a shine to Mags, who is from 4 as well, along with Finnick,
yes,
Very old.
who is like a mute old woman.
yeah, she volunteered in place of Annie, who we find out is Finnick's lover.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Which
I assume.
we know you end up mute in Panem if you are defiant enough.
Oh, okay.
That's what an AVOX is.
Right. And then we get who are the other two that she takes a shine to? Beatty and Wyris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with who is Jeffrey
Joanna,
Wright.
which with the all of the disgust that PETA says, is Joanna calls them nuts and bolts.
That's involved. Yeah.
Yeah, who we got Jeffrey Wright, who's my favorite Commissioner Gordon, I think, as I've
Oh shit!
sat on the Batman.
I forgot that he was.
What?
Yeah, in the Batman.
Yeah,
Gary
he was.
Oldman's not peak
No, yeah.
Gordon?
I think the Batman is a better movie than The Dark Knight. So
Well, that's fair.
but I do agree. Gary Oldman's hard to beat, but I think he edges him out for me. And then Amanda Plummer, who I mainly know from Pulp Fiction. She's the robber lady at the top up with Tim Roth.
Oh shit!
yeah.
That like robs the diner in Pulp Fiction. Yeah.
Um,
And they're fun. They're so fun, you guys. Actually, really, like I said, one of my I just like the multitude of like new characters we get in this one is really cool.
and we see Jason Statham, and
Yeah, there's a guy that's not Jason Statham, but
That-
might as well be.
he looks more like Bruce Willis to me, but okay.
He's just a big ball.
I'm pretty sure he's also named Brutus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that is Brutus.
And then we have Jack Reacher, making a cameo.
Richardson's
This seems more like his Blue Mountain State era.
Okay.
Short, like pre-Jack Reacher, pre the roids.
Yeah.
And they are siblings.
And then he has a sibling. What's her name?
Cashmere. Yeah.
What was his name? I don't remember what his name was.
I haven't the slightest fucking clue, man.
I'll see if I can't track it. Gloss.
Oh my god, his name is Gloss.
Gloss and
They're
Cashmere.
so goofy.
Well, our parents were weird. Well, I guess they're
Textures.
capital people or District 1 people, whatever.
Textiles. Yeah, I don't know. But luxury.
But
That's
nuts and volts over here. They're great because they
Is it volts or bolts?
Volts, like as in
Volts.
like voltage.
Oh.
Yeah. They're
Which
fantastic.
is foreshadowing to what he does with
Well, yeah. I mean,
Right.
that's all Beatty. Like,
Because they're the
that's what
techies.
he's good at.
They're the techies, and they identify.
Yes.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's little.
Not the first time he tried to destroy an arena.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and you find that out in his film is that's how he won.
he electrocuted everybody. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So
He might be my favorite.
he's really a scientist. Like that's his actual job.
And it sounds like he's like contributed a lot to like the scientific advancement in the past couple years.
A lot of the capital. Yeah.
is all
like,
him. Yeah.
You see Katniss shoot.
Really cool, like Tron looking fucking scene.
Oh, yeah.
In the as
Yeah.
she's like shooting all these animated
Very fun.
dummies or whatever.
Yeah, this is more advanced than what the book lends itself to, but I appreciate the futuristic.
I like when it goes sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like if I have like kind of a big complaint about the look and stuff of this whole series is that like I wish it was a little more sci-fi.
Yeah, you were so upset about the fucking Hummers that the peacekeepers
Yeah,
came
no,
in.
I don't like. Yeah, like
He's like it's a
Those are just
futuristic
trucks.
society, and I'm like, we actually
That's
use
a really
Hummers for the
common-
army. Like, what do you mean?
Cop out though with sci-fi movies. I feel
Yeah, I don't know.
Escalades or Hummers.
Hunger Games. It's a weird series because she is doing.
Oh
this,
yeah, the Escalades for the special agents always.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
She's doing the contrast, right, of like the Depression era districts and like the weird high tech future of the capital. But but every now and then I'm like, that's just a table or
It's
something.
poverty.
You know?
It's poverty versus wealth.
Right.
Like resource guarding. That's what I love about these books is the stuff that it gets into is like the war mechanics and like strategy and yeah.
They see her shoot. She has her pick of allies. She basically says she wants none.
Well, she wants the nerds, basically.
She does want
And
the
she's
nerds,
like-
and
The
Haymitch
duds.
and Peter are like, that's not how we're going to win.
Right.
So they kind of override her on that and just leave her in the dark on that. And then we get to the interviews with, what the fuck is his
before
name?
we do the interviews, we get the tryout thing or their final showing or whatever that.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Where PETA does his mural of Rue.
Yep.
That hypes Katniss up, like that, like turns her rage on as she comes in.
Well,
and
it
sees
revolutionizes her because
Yeah.
that is what revolutionizes her is the unfairness of somebody as young as Rue, as her sister.
Like she
being
said in the
raped.
speech, like that she was so young. Like I love her pointing that out.
She was too
specifically.
gentle. She was too kind. And so you have Rue in her, basically in the death scene that,
How she left
the
her
meadow.
body.
yeah, in the funeral that Katniss essentially held for her with in the meadow.
Great acting from J Law here.
Yeah.
As she goes from like sorrow to rage in like one progressive look. It's so good.
Yeah. Then strings up Seneca as
Yeah, makes an
As a-
effigy
as
as of Seneca. Yeah.
you see Plutarch kind of give her a nod of respect for that.
There was a deleted scene. We were just watching another deleted scene where Finnick apparently is the one
Who taught her knots.
Right, in the training scene prior to this would have taught her how to tie like a noose, and so which I wish was included. As we watched that, I was like, that would have been.
Taking it out gives their alliance more of a
A twist.
yes,
Okay.
a surprise factor.
Yeah.
But I agree. It would have given it more depth, but
It doesn't need it, but it's
6
fine.
one,
It's-
half a
yeah,
dozen
whatever.
the other on the
Yeah, yeah.
on the other side of it. And then they go into their interviews with what
Caesar.
the hell
Caesar.
is Caesar? I was gonna say Senna, and I'm like, that's not correct.
Who we
And-
don't like his look in this one. We don't like the tooch. All glory to the tooch.
All glory to the tooch.
We love the tooch, but the tooch's wardrobe in this one.
It's not the wardrobe. It's just the
Tooch
hair.
is
Just
not
the hair.
Gooch
It's
in
just
this.
the hair.
Yeah.
It's just the hair. We don't because his outfits lend themselves to darker grays, navies, blues, And in the last one, he had blue hair, so it was perfectly fine. We have pastel fucking purple hair. Lavender
it's
hair
too
now.
dark of a purple. If it was like brighter purple or even like a fuchsia or something, maybe.
If it were more of a contrast, or if it were a contrast, or if it were more of like a steely gray, we could have a conversation about the hair being better.
I don't like seeing him with hair whatsoever because the Tooch is a beautiful bald gentleman.
He's Booch.
You're just insecure about your hairline.
I just like that he can rock it and he looks great and people like him.
Because without him, you would not survive.
Yeah, no, the Tooch is who I will become, man. I will, you know what? I will become a Tooch.
You know who he will become? Never mind.
Donald Sutherland.
No, because Donald Sutherland has hair.
He's got a receding hairline, too. He's got it. It's creeping.
So we have these interviews.
They progressively get, like, more Spidey, you know? It starts out with the District 1 people who are just like, we'll miss you all. We'll do our best, blah, blah.
Yeah, you have everybody playing every angle that they can to get the Capitol riled up enough to stop the games. Mm-hmm. And I really like that the finale is PETA, and he has the most compelling argument being...
He just knocks it out of the water.
That...
the baby!
If it weren't for the baby.
If it weren't for the baby.
Which, I mean,
fantastic.
Do what you gotta do, my guy.
Dropping these bombs on Katniss on live TV.
I mean,
2 for 2, yeah, 2 for 2. And it's a great performance from Hutcherson as he just gives the
smile
and Woody
to
Harrelson,
him.
yeah, just the thing. We do get Katniss's dress in between here too, where she does the mocking, where Cinna seals his fate.
The other thing that I liked about this scene, shortly before she goes on stage, that Joanna's kind of disgusted. She's like, a wedding dress. And then Katniss
because she
says,
still thinks she's
President
a sellout.
Snow made me wear it.
She says Snow. She didn't even say
Snow
President.
made me wear it.
Snow made me, and then Katniss or Joanna with all of like the teeth, like
she's all teeth too.
Yeah, with the teeth, like this I don't know, like the bite of spite that she has goes make him pay for it.
She's very fiery.
And so he does. She does.
She gets literal.
Technically, Cinna makes him pay for it, but
yeah,
it's done.
The Cinna's little mini arc here too is like, I think that's maybe the most shocking thing in the sense that like, well, we've seen Cinna show off some bullshit before, so like we don't expect that to like come back around to him, right? But the whole sequence of the dress reveal. Talk about, if you guys can and remember it all, because Ash, I think you said like this was hype as hell back in the day.
Oh yeah,
in the theater. When she does the dress reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
the sparks and everything.
When you read it in the book, it's not as elaborate as what we see on screen.
Oh.
It's just one of those visual things that you read in a book and you can imagine it, but when you see it depicted on screen, it's like, wow, like this is what...
It could have gone poorly.
Yeah, this is what's canonically been decided that this dress looks like.
Yeah, like,
you know,
it could have gone poorly. It could have been one of those things where like they wanted to execute, but they didn't, and they actually execute better than you even imagine. And I think that's probably why in theaters we were so hype, is because we all like in our minds had like a semi like thing in our head.
Sounds cool, but I don't know. Yeah.
And this is where you really know she's the Mockingjay, and you get like, and this is also like your propaganda piece, like as the Revolution like marketing department, screen clipping that immediately, screen clipping that little like spin. Hell the fuck yeah! And it came with fire. And it came with fire. Yes, sir.
Which is exactly what Snow did not want to see.
Right. And so that's...
Cut to black.
Yeah, he's all pissed.
Well, not cut to black then. They have their unified moment of all the
even
victors.
Even worse, yeah, all the victors hold their hand. Which is, I love the shot of like just their silhouettes and shit like that. That's so cool.
Yeah. This whole scene, excellently done. Pretty much canon to the book. All of it. And the other thing is that this is where the dress that she was made to wear by Snow was what the Capitol had decided. The Capitol had...
they had voted on it.
They had voted on her wedding dresses that she was to wear for her actual wedding. This was the winner. And for Cinna to make these changes
just bastardize it,
was not even bastardize it, glorify it even. And then we get Effie's show of emotion.
Yeah, kind of the end of her arc here, where the whole movie she's been talking about like we're a team, and now she kind of means it when she gives them.
Well, their whole arc of meeting her from the beginning, she says we're a team too.
Right, right. But she like again, she has the line here is like you both deserve so much better, and she gives Peeta a locket, which I think is more than I don't know. Don't spoil me yet. That feels like that's something that is more than it is.
No, it was, I think.
Was it just the
it
pictures?
served its purpose.
To my recollection, it was just for him to be able to remind Katniss later
in the arena.
Because he's not dumb.
He knows Katniss.
He knows that she semi has a death wish, and so he's like, I need to remind her to fight.
Why to stay alive? Yeah.
Like because she will sacrifice herself for me. I think he knows that. We don't obviously get his perspective in the book, but it's almost exactly the same.
And I mean, he does not know the overarching plan. Katniss doesn't know the overarching plan.
Peeta's not in on it?
No.
Not like that, no.
Oh.
I think he might have known about the allies at most, but you would have to
He doesn't. He doesn't know any of it.
Okay.
So,
but she gives the bracelets to them as well, which seems to be
No, just one bracelet to Haymitch, and then Peeta gets the locket.
Peeta.
Oh, okay.
They each get one gold thing, and then she has her hair.
And she clearly feels like this is goodbye forever. You will
Because
both, or
there's
both
no
will die.
no shot they both come out again.
So is Effie in on
Yeah.
it then?
No.
She's
no,
not?
Effie's not in on it at all. They only it's a need to know basis.
Well, then if this presumably she commissioned these bracelets, right?
well,
just
she
she won.
gave the bracelet to Haymitch. Haymitch gave it to Finnick.
Okay. I thought they were all wearing the same bracelet to
No.
signify they were all on the same.
No, they all had something gold. Yeah, I think we were talking when we were
Okay.
watching the movie, and she said that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Haymitch is the only one with
No,
the
I
bracelet.
thought that they all have the same gold. I thought that he flashed it to show that like I'm wearing the same bracelet Haymitch is wearing, so you know that I'm on your
No,
side.
Haymitch gave his bracelet to Finnick.
Okay,
It
there's
was
only
the same hate.
okay.
It was
Okay.
Haymitch's bracelet.
Okay.
bracelet.
So okay, I misunderstood. I thought Effie was like part of it. Is what I took from that. But okay, gotcha.
No,
She-
they used what she
To
came
spoil
up
it a
with.
little bit, she
Okay.
does get to be a part of
I
it
know.
later.
Yeah.
she'll be a part of it.
Yeah. She better be. She's my favorite.
With good reason.
And then Haymitch's last words to
Katniss, which comes back around to
remember
who the
who
real enemy is. Yeah.
And he
That's-
says this is goodbye for now.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
says this is goodbye
Yeah.
for now. It's very clear that in that scene that Haymitch did not think this was.
If I'm going into it truly blind, which I like half was, right? Like it's not immediately obvious, which is good. You know, I like that. I like when a twist is a twist.
But it's fun when like you're watching in a group, some
Mm-hmm.
people don't know, and you see that little tidbit, and it's like,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, yeah, me and Haymitch know.
Before the games kick off, we'd get one last, shall we say, yearning cuddle here
the yearn,
between
the yearn burn.
catching yearn.
Very wholesome. Them both just laying in bed, fully clothed, cuddling. They probably haven't slept a wink all night.
Yeah. They don't leave all. He doesn't leave with a kiss either. Respectful king. I
Yeah,
call
he
them.
does
Yeah.
not push.
No, I like this too. So it is discussed that they had started sleeping together because of her nightmares, and all they
Right.
had done was slept. And it was purely for her, for his, like it's, and this is where it comes up, the quote of him being like, the only thing that scares me is losing you, and so if I wake up and I see you, I'm good. Whereas she is sitting there reliving their last games, you know, and new scenarios or what have you of her family being killed and yada, yada, yada. So it's really more for her that he's laying next to her. Which is, if he were a worse person, that's a really great way to take advantage of her.
Right.
And he just,
Right.
that's not PETA.
And it feels like Gale probably would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and he does. At every opportunity where she shows vulnerability, Gale takes that as an opportunity for his...
Worm his way in, yeah.
Difference between a selfish kind of love and a selfless kind of love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A knock at the door and Peeta is off to the games. Katniss follows soon after with Cinna,
In the tube.
where he gives her another little Mockingjay pin before she takes off, and then they tube on up, and we get, this was brutal. I feel like I've maybe seen this scene in like YouTube clips too. Cinna's fucking ass is like
Beat to hell.
beat to hell. With this is like from just slamming, I don't know, something about slamming someone on like a glass tube that doesn't shatter and like just bouncing his fucking skull off of it. Like that's
Well, so he in the books he's
rough.
beat to death
He
in
dies.
front of her.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
It's not.
And
as
she
clear
like the
in
last thing
movie.
she sees is his lifeless eyes, like when she's going up.
And I mean, in this again, it's PG-13, but like they get pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a brutal fucking beatdown, and J Law just screaming. It's a huge contrast to last time, where she at least, because again, like Senna's the last guy that saw her off.
Yeah, so last time
And
she was
again,
more
this-
calm going into it.
This comes out of nowhere, because like in the context of like repeating some of the same story beats as the first movie, right? Where it's like Senna does a cool dress, the dress does some cool shit, it's meaningful for some whatever, blah blah blah. So we've kind of like done that before, and yeah, maybe surface level, like, oh, it's a Mockingjay, okay, it's a cool moment. If you know where it's going, it's just another cool moment. If you don't know where it's going, if you don't know where it's going, it's just a cool moment. So his death is actually like, I think, very very sudden in the larger context of what's going on, and I guess is really the first casualty of her.
It shows how
team.
unhinged Snow
In this
is now.
movie.
Like he's not fucking around. Where he wants her dead, and I think it's his.
And he's a celebrity. Senna's a celebrity. Everyone's wearing him. You know, he just killed freaking Kate Spade or whoever the hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say more so like Law Roach, but
Sure, whoever. I don't know people.
Law Roach.
Tommy Hilfiger.
Law Roach
Tommy
dresses
Hilfiger.
He killed him.
Zendaya. I guy.
Oh my goodness.
I think this is also a micro, not really micro, more so just like a aggressive message to
That's huge. Oh, it's
to
huge.
Katniss that I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Like-
Like if you could get razzed out by this and die immediately, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Which he says later, like he is kind of pissed at Plutarch. He's like, just
With
kill her
how long
already.
she's alive. Yeah.
But again, you create a martyr if you kill her off.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, that's why, again, Plutarch is very, very careful here, where he like has a rational, like evil justification for every, for prolonging her survival as long as he can.
At this point, he's definitely he's totally set on getting her out of the arena. So he was never gonna let her die. In there.
But he makes a good like case to Snow, where he's just like, well, let's give her time to get her hands dirty, kill some of these people,
Well,
show
and
the
his-
district that
his
she's also a
arguments
piece of shit.
Which
Are
he
very
eats
logical.
up.
Like in favor of Snow's agenda. Even.
Exactly.
Like it's so calculated. It's very well done.
He's a very good inside agent.
Yes.
We get this. So this arena, I like it a lot more than the first one. Not that I have anything against a nice Pacific Northwest style, forest, but as a big
Seattle Forest.
as a big fan, as you all know, of the hit 2004 ABC show Lost,
Dear God.
I love
Claire.
Claire,
Sorry.
Charlie.
Charlie.
I love a tropical island. So, the layout of this one, it being, as we find out later, like a big clock. I like that it's smaller. The pacing of this game's, I know it kind of has to.
I like that it does. So, to speak to production for this, I like that we don't zoom out to see. We are stuck in her perspective.
We can't see the clock imagery.
The oneer as she comes up, right, and she's screaming at Senna, like it's all one shot, right, as it spirals around her and stuff. Like, I'm not as crazy. The cinematography in this one is like not as it's more static. The last one had a lot of like shaky cam that really gave it a bit of an identity.
We do get a little bit of shaky cam here when she's running towards the cornucopia, and we mentioned this too for just writing and in general just her character development, that she's actually running towards the cornucopia this time as a to get her stuff, as opposed to just trying to find shelter and stay out of everybody's way.
She's a contender.
Which is to show that she's much stronger than she was last time. But I like that we get a little bit of shaky cam here to show as she's like swimming, beautiful dive, and then running up the thing. We never get like a zoom out shot or like a full perspective shot. We are basically kind of in her perspective the whole time. We don't see that it's a clock. Like that is kept away from us.
Not
and I like that. Yeah. I like that. Excellently done on production there. Points there for that. I also want to put points into performance as well, where she like you can tell she is not well. Like, she's obviously still shown, like, she is not over Cinna's stuff, but that survival instinct kicked in, and you can see the moment that it does. You see the moment that she locks in and she says, well, I'm gonna fucking kill everything.
Yeah.
And really in the way that she almost kills Finnick.
I do remember when I first saw this arena, it looked exactly like I imagined it.
Really?
Yeah, it was so
yes, it does.
satisfying.
Yeah, in the way that the last one wasn't, because the cornucopia is gold in the last one.
Cornucopia is so off.
Yeah, and it's more futuristic-y, techy in the last one than it was supposed to be as it was written. But this one, everything to the letter. Everything to the letter. And maybe they had a bigger budget this one because they gained so much popularity with the first one. I don't know.
I can imagine.
They also really needed to reuse that cornucopia if they still had it. You know what I mean? Like,
we've got this big structure.
She was like, what the fuck else are we going to use it for?
Litter.
The rocks and the way that even the minor actors who we barely see, for like, these are the ones that die out in the first 30 seconds that we see them technically. Just their performances as well, for a believability of stumbling on the rocks, and none of that's exaggerated. Like, they are also running at a breakneck pace. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just very excellently well done.
One thing I love about the Hunger Games as a concept, like the games, if I was watching it, is how they need to become aware of their surroundings as soon as possible when they enter the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody knows what they're getting into
you
when they walk in. You
don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what the setting is, what looks safe but isn't. And so I really enjoyed watching that in this one, where all of these victors get together. They know exactly what to do, and they're all on the same page without even having to communicate it. We've got to find water, and then they start to slowly understand that weird crap's going on in the woods.
Well, and I think this also speaks to the familiarity of those being victors. Like, these there are elements of each of their games, and it's more communicated in the film than in the film that they show in the books of the previous
They're past
games.
things, yeah.
There's pieces of the past games for everyone in this one.
Oh yeah.
And so that being, there's like you've got more experience, and so of course when you have more experience at the table, you have to up the ante. You have to make it a little bit more crazy
and target their direct weaknesses.
Right.
You know?
You play to some of their strengths, and obviously you
giving
play
Finnick water and shit like that.
You play to BT's strength for sure, because he's part of the revolution. You play to Finnick's strength because he is also part of the revolution. Because you have to also assume
it's the balance,
that Plutarch knows who's on what side.
The balance he has to strike, and this is like one of those things, and keeping that in mind, how he has to make it just challenging enough to to pull off this is a real games, but not so challenging that he does accidentally kill someone he needs.
Yeah, I love how he stopped the spinning as soon as Katniss ended up in the water when they started spinning the cornucopia.
Well, and then just puts on that little villain line, let's see if they can tell time now, just to keep everybody thinking let me just throw a one-liner in here so they think I'm evil.
I did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But we're getting ahead as we get to that. But we split up into our two main groups here, I guess, which are, or I guess kind of three, because we get the career group, which is just kind of a bunch of, I don't want to say a bunch of nobodies, but they don't do anything interesting with them.
Well, they're not on our side.
They're not on our side, but we get our side, which is Peeta, Katniss, Finnick, and Mags, who head off. I'm checking my notes here to make sure I remember. Oh, yeah. Be careful. There's a force field up there.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they run into.
So cute.
Peeta's he's badassly chopping through the vines like a little Indiana Jones.
With his little machete.
His little machete, and then he just backs face first into this fucking thing that explodes him. Finnick saves him, thankfully. This is a good little performance from J-Law here, just losing it over losing Peeta 5 minutes in, which is great. Finnick kind of proves his worth here.
And it's so different to see methods of survival in the sense of, and I think this is where you see the difference in the mindset of even the victors of like, because where in the last games, if you've had an alliance with somebody and they happen to die, you really didn't give a shit. You didn't try to save them. If they fell behind,
it's actually for the best that they died.
If they fell behind, they fell behind. And whereas in this one, in multiple instances, off screen and on screen, if they fall behind or if they're in danger of dying, you still do what you can to help them survive, and that's because there's a larger mission beyond.
We get breadcrumbed that mission. Like, why is Finnick saving his life? You know, like,
right.
I love the little hints.
Yeah.
Just throughout it that are like that they are uncharacteristic.
I saved them for you.
Everyone is uncharacteristically altruistic for a Hunger Game. You know, it's very, and I like seeing Katniss slowly pick up on that as well. But she is kind of too stupid and distrustful to put it together. You know, which again I like. I like the fact that she doesn't figure it out because she's not that type of character.
Exactly. No, these characters
she doesn't need to be.
Are
like,
very realistic.
Again, a lesser writer would have had her be like, "I'm good at everything and I figured it out and I'm 2 steps ahead of you." But like the fact that and really the end result of all of this, the fact that she is not interested in being a fucking leader and is not interested in being a revolutionary icon, and she has been straight up manipulated by other powers that are, as I know we're going to find out, are no better, right, than the one she's fighting against. That she is, and always has been, no matter what side she's on here, kind of a tool of
somebody else's agenda.
Greater idea. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting like a movie ahead now.
2 movies.
Something like, yeah.
So the first thing they have to do is find
water. They get some water. Haymitch sends them a spit. What is it? What is it?
Spile.
Spile, thank you. That they plug into a tree.
So this is more dramatic in the book, and I understand for brevity's sake that they had to shorten the timeline on this. This is more so like a 2 or 3 day thing. They're like nearing day 3 when he finally sends the spile. Like they are like
on the verge of death.
Of death when they finally get that. The other thing is that Mags is way more useful in the book, where she weaves together like baskets with leaves and stuff that are able to hold water for beyond just like the minute that they have the spile running. So those are small differences. Again, understandable. It takes time to show those things. It's time you don't necessarily have. So it is what it is. First thing is to get water.
And then the fog.
Yeah. The fog comes while they're sleeping. They're taking watch.
I don't like the night. The lighting has, unfortunately, as time goes on, gotten worse. A lot of this this
is something we constantly have an issue with.
Well, and it's
in any movie, in any genre,
no one does it right.
It's annoying because
lighting.
I really like the concept of the 2 set pieces we get at night here, which is A, the fog, and then B, the monkeys. So that's what a sentence. But the fog, because like I like the look of the fog. Honestly, is very Lost, right? It's this spooky fucking shit coming out. I like how it moves. The VFX are like really cool as this thing like ensnares them and starts to poison them and shit. That being said, it's too fucking dark. I would have liked to have seen their faces lit. That like the shit that's like the boils growing on them are like, I don't know.
I think they did well with those, with having them be filled with pus almost instantaneously.
But they could have been like green or something. I don't know. Again, I would like go sci-fi, go creepy with it, go freaky, go horror with it. Don't just make it like a weird big pimple.
But then you have to pay the price of a rating.
And isn't that how it's literally described
green.
In the books?
Huh?
Isn't that how it's described in the books? Because I think when they wash it off on their hands, it like looks like smoke in the water.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is. It is. That is canonic to the book.
Yeah.
So I agree on your take. They could have made it more sci-fi, but what they did do was like
it was fine. It was fine.
Well, and the point of it was for them to kind of catch them unawares, where it's like it's just fog, or it's just mist. You know,
if you see a green fog coming at you.
but like the boils could have been green or something like that. Like that could have been yuckier looking.
For sure.
And everything could have been
I do want to point out there is one kind of major difference where in the book also this is drawn out, and I don't quite understand why we didn't really give this more depth here because this is a depth that this is one of the ones that I don't quite understand. The poison fog, it's basic. It starts out pretty much the same, and Katniss alerts them to it because I think she's on watch. But she initially ends up carrying Mags because, or when Peeta,
yeah, they're both carrying.
When Peeta's, and this is where his leg comes in too. His prosthetic leg slips in the. He can't fucking walk from the beginning.
He loses the leg?
No, he already had the leg.
He got electrocuted.
But the electrocution fucks up the leg for walking, and so he's
just limping along.
He's limping along behind her, and she's initially when they first get up and try to get away from the fog, he is stepping basically where she is, and she's kind of leading him along. Katniss is, and then at some point it fully gives out, where either he's overtaken by the fog or what have you, to where and Finnick is carrying Mags at this point, and then he has to double back, carries Peeta. Katniss starts carrying Mags, and it's much more heartbreaking because their joints and their limbs start to go stiff because of the boils and stuff. So it gets to a point where all their limbs go stiff. So Katniss goes, "It's no use. Can you take them both? Go on ahead. I'll catch up." To Finnick, and Finnick goes, "No." His eyes are shining with tears. "No," he says, "I can't carry them both. My arms aren't working." It's true. His arms jerk uncontrollably at his sides. His hands are empty. Of his 3 tridents, only one remains, and it's in Peeta's hands. "I'm sorry, Mags, I can't do it," is what he says to her. And this is much more heartbreaking. Her death is much more heartbreaking in this. And in the same way that she does on screen, she
just walks into it.
She kisses him and walks into it. And basically each thing demands a sacrifice. And she is each
challenge or whatever
demands a sacrifice, and she's the sacrifice for this one. So I think it gives weight. Losing this part of the book really loses the weight of the scene in an insignificant way, I guess, because you still get that.
I felt Mags was wasted. I didn't like that she was just kind of a nice lady.
Yeah,
that just dies for almost no reason, but.
Yeah, it means more when you have Katniss, and to the point where, when they go to get in the water, Finnick is completely collapsed.
Yeah.
Peeta can barely walk because of his leg, but Finnick is rolled out on the beach, her and Peeta have to semi-drag him in, and he's basically unconscious when they do that. So there's pieces of this where it could be a much bigger scene, but I understand that you have to sacrifice certain things for brevity. That's fair. I get it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
They even could have just had a brief moment of Mags kind of stealing herself before walking into the fog. It does feel a little weird the way the scene played out.
She kind of just Mufasa cloud walks away.
Just sort of walks into it. There's no there's nothing violent
the
about it.
The canon is kind of haunting, but yeah, that is kind of it.
It just consumes her.
What's fucking terrible is when them washing out the boils of the water. They're acting the hell out of having that shit burned off of them.
It does hurt. It does hurt.
That was pain. That went on so long. It felt which is good, which was a good thing.
Having to make yourself convulse and jolt that.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Hated watching it, but I was glad they left that part in. Honestly, they do rest for the night and then get into.
No, they have the monkeys.
No, they have the monkeys immediately after because they are going from segment to segment. They didn't run out onto the beach. They ran into
the lake.
You're right.
I'm sorry. I said the beach. I meant the lake.
Gotcha.
Into a little
pond thing.
Right. I'm disappointed in. I'm gonna say I'm just disappointed in this sequence. I think as a whole.
The monkeys.
The monkeys is similar to. I liked them better than the mutts from the first movie. That being said, they are just monkeys. Again,
they are. Yes, I agree. They're kind of boring-ass monkeys.
Again, and I like that they're mandrills. I think that is a cool choice. If you're going to do a monkey, that is I think the scariest and most freaky alien-looking monkey you could do. That being said, again, I would just go a little more sci-fi with it.
Give them a third eye or something.
Yeah, maybe,
anything.
I don't know, give them a tail of a scorpion or some bullshit. I like that they were green, I think. But
it's just the reflection of the forest.
Yeah, I
it's
don't
too
think they were
dark.
green.
I can't tell. I would have even taken that if they were
backlight
big
of our
green
TV
monkeys.
made
green monkeys.
But it's too dark to see. So I don't like how dark this. I find the fight choreography kind of meh. Like it's not a. It's just a very like generic actions. It's not bad, right? But it's just like. The most interesting thing was when the one went underwater and is like chomping at her, where we get like a good little bite sequence.
That was a good.
But that's kind of it. Now the shot I did like in here is when they do find, or is when the Morphling, who was like a camo
That was
focused tribute,
freaky.
She
Right.
did not have to die. She sacrificed herself for PETA.
right? But where just the one shot of her like eyes opening up in the darkness
was cool.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, so in the book, the quote is, "The insane morphling from District 6 throws up her skeletal arms as if to embrace the monkey, and it sinks its fangs into her chest." So basically she hugs the monkey. In the scene itself,
She what?
Hugs the monkey.
Okay,
Sorry, what did I say?
that's what you said. I just wanted you to say it again.
My bad.
Hugging the monkey again.
Yeah.
Sounds like a euphemism.
It does.
Riding the dragon, hugging the monkey.
There you go.
I
There you
got
go.
it. It took me a minute. I'm sorry. The scene is a little too fast, cinematically, to see this, and so I think their conversation about her sacrificing herself is necessary. They do still.
Here's but I guess my other criticism of it when she does sacrifice herself is that it feels like we should have lost Finnick here. It feels like we threw in this character that is the character in quotation marks of the Morphling who like shows up again. Clearly she's part of the revolution, right? Like clearly she did sacrifice herself for PETA and the gang. That being said, we don't know who she is. We feel bad for her, and I think PETA does a good job here of helping her pass as peacefully as she can.
I think her irrelevance is the point. Like, they just lost Mags, and you understand why Mags might go. You know, she's old. She
wasn't going to make it in the first place.
Yeah, and Finnick says
you
that,
understand it. This is not someone who was even one of their allies. They hadn't had a conversation.
Yeah.
They were not. There was no reason this person would choose
It's
to
another
sacrifice
hint.
himself.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't even think the Morphling probably didn't know about the overarching plan necessarily. She probably
You think
just
so?
thought. And you'll have to remind me from the book. I think she just knew she was going to die.
It's unclear. She's one of the lesser districts that might have known, but she's not fully like a part of the plan. The other thing about this scene is too that like PETA had spent a lot of time with them painting.
Yeah, I remembered that.
In training. When he's holding her in the water in the book, he starts talking to her about painting, and he starts talking about mixing paint. With my paint box at home, I can make every color imaginable. Pink, as pale as a baby's skin, or as deep as rhubarb. And he keeps just going on about all of these colorful things.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't like in the movie where he is holding her and he tells her, he's like, look up there, look at all the colors. And I'm like, what colors? What are you talking about?
The sunset.
The sunset.
He had previously said in the scene where it's like, what's your favorite color? And he said, my favorite color is orange. And she's like Effie's hair. And he goes, no, like the deep orange of the sunset.
And I think it was a sunrise, but still, it was a
Regardless.
colorful sky.
But
yeah,
all right, it didn't.
It was a sunrise.
It didn't
You're right.
seem that colorful. Like in the movie, all I'm saying, maybe that's what they were going for. Yes, but visually speaking, they didn't. It's not like they panned up and showed me a really good sunrise.
it could have been more, dramatic.
You know,
especially
that is what
knowing-
I'm saying. Is I'm not talking about the intent of the script and the scene. I'm talking about how did it deliver on it, ladies. So, and that is my point in the film critic podcast that we're doing. Okay.
Don't criticize my movie.
I'm saying so all that. So I really like that in the book, where it's like, oh, I would have liked to have seen the painting backstory and seen that, because it kind of just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a
in the
great
movie,
point.
and I just didn't think it was as visually stunning as PETA was saying it was.
And they really could have done that because we, as an audience, knew that it
and
was
it
a
takes
fake
very
sky.
little to do that.
It's
It
a
takes
fake
very little
sky.
to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they clearly they can oversaturate Gail's fucking eyeballs, so can't we?
What does look great though, to bring it back around, is the big fucking wave that comes into. I love
Oh, yeah.
this. This looks sick as that looked practical. I probably wasn't, but it looked like a fucking water park wave, like a fucking tsunami. It was cool as hell. So I love that.
Yeah.
If I could be positive.
You can be positive. That's okay.
Cool.
And so as they're on the beach, shortly after this death is where we meet Joanna and Beatty and Wyrus again. Mm-hmm. They come out covered in something, we don't know what, from a distance. As Joanna comes up the beach, kind of just kicking and screaming, which she seems to do everything kicking and screaming. I love that about her as somebody who thrives on living in spite. But and living off of spite.
Who also lives off spite.
Love that for her. I really enjoy her as a character. Mm-hmm. But she is basically crashing out over the fact that Wyrus has kind of lost it in shock. Beatty is just carrying around wire, and she's not really sure why the fuck he's carrying around wire. She's covered in fucking blood.
Yeah. There was like a blood rain
area
or something.
When you can gloss over this kind of mentally, right? Like you can just think of rain and be like, it's whatever. But
You're talking about the
she
thickness?
describes it. She's
but in the way that she describes it, because like in the book they kind of gloss over it, right? Like it's just blood rain. But when she describes it, and credit to her for a performance here, where she describes it's hot and it's sticky and it's thick and I couldn't see shit.
Gagging on it, you're blinded.
Yeah,
and
what
also
are we talking about?
Two other people.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up. Audience groans.
You are the embodiment of that one TikTok sound that's going around right now.
TikTok?
TikTok.
Fuck, dude.
TikTok?
Shut up. The shut up sound. That's you right now. That's me to you. But it's the way that she paints that imagery, not just in the line, in the writing there, but also in her delivery of said line. That just beautiful. Really well done. And then to have her like attempt to wash herself off and still kind of be covered in it as well. Well done. Well done.
And it really emphasizes the onslaught of like these things that happen in each segment of the clock. Mm-hmm. Like,
right. Well, they uncover the truth of the clock from Wyrus here, where each
prior
phase
to that, though, we have Katniss trying to clean up Wyrus, which is very sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it speaks to Katniss's likability here and just humanity. And I think this is a little bit of her growth as well, because as somebody who was so annoyed by her mother's depression and dissociation from reality when her father passed, to see that growth of her be patient with Wyrus, where she is
able to figure out what
clearly
she's
like having a fucking mental break, and she's like, click TikTok.
Well, she does love
Let's
the
get you cleaned up.
outcasts. She loves the vulnerable. Like,
yeah, and and that's what makes her a great hero, is she stands in the gap for those who can't stand for themselves.
And it's pretty different when it's your own mother who was your caretaker.
Yeah, and and there's a resentment there too of like,
So
I'm not supposed to be taking care of this thing. This is your job as the parent. I didn't choose to be here type shit.
Lots
which
of
we don't
disgust.
have any experience with whatsoever. The trauma's got to seep in somewhere. But they figured that out with her patience, actually, because Joanna had absolutely zilch patience for it, so she has no idea. And Beatty, who
should have figured this out.
Has the brains to figure this out, but apparently not the patience to listen.
Sure.
Because he's used to her just kind of babbling on. Has she's able to figure it out that it's a clock.
She is unfortunately killed here though. Which kind of sucks. I kind of thought she'd be in it more.
Well, she served her purpose. We just needed her to say that it was clock.
The careers attack them. Or some of them do anyway.
She was just another sad character to lose, right? Like, this character has so much potential. Yeah, they're
I like
crazy.
that. I'll say that I do, again, going back to just this one has more characters and more interesting characters, is it has the horror movie appeal of like picking them off one by one. Mm-hmm. And you like all the ones they pick off. So you're like, man. Mm-hmm. So that has that going for it too.
And so you have PETA like starting to like map out and list out what this is. And so I kind of wrote this down. 12 to 1 is the lightning of the tree. 1 to 2 is the blood rain. 2 to 3 is the fog. 3 to 4 is the monkeys. And then we know that 10 to 11 is the wave from the tsunami.
Yeah.
And then we go into the Jabberjay scene, which is
after
tragic.
the spin, after
and then we get the spin.
After Plutarch spins them and they kill off, I think, one or two of the other careers or whatever. But yeah, Jabberjay scene, fucking love this shit. As kind of so I am on the fog and the monkeys. Jabberjay, fucking
Excellently
A.
done.
Love this shit. I like the slow start to it, right? Of like her being drawn out by one that sounds like Prim. And then same thing with Finnick, and it slowly builds and builds and builds and builds, and it's just super. Man, I'd like when she gets locked in by the invisible wall, and then it's just like cuts to an hour later.
And you just have Peeta, and this also speaks to Peeta's yearning and or selfless love of him,
His
just
facial expression.
and his forehead just leaned up against the glass,
Screaming at her like, it's not real, it's okay.
just trying to get her through it as best as he can. I think this also speaks to their awareness of the surveillance level of the Capitol, specifically Katniss and Finnick, because regardless of the fact that it's Jabberjays, or more so because of the fact that it's Jabberjays, they're like, Jabberjays only
repeat what they've heard.
You know, everybody else is trying to assure them like, hey, this hasn't happened. There's no way that this has happened. There's no way anybody would touch Prim specifically because she, you know,
she's a darling.
The world loves her. As true as that may be, somehow we still have her voice on this fucking Jabberjay screaming. This speaks to the level of influence that the Capitol has and what Snow has at his fingertips to be able to really fuck with anyone's head.
And how they don't know what he's capable of. They simply don't know.
Finnick, for all his long list of lovers or consorts, for them to know that Annie is his weakness.
Yeah. They knew.
And for Joanna, and I think we get a tragic moment here. Not a tragic moment, but a little bit of a peek into Joanna's tragic backstory where
she says, like, I have no one left to love or something.
I have no one left that I care about.
Yeah.
And you know, if that's the case, you did something very bad to the Capitol for them to have killed your whole family.
Yes.
Not everybody has their whole family killed.
But I also think this speaks to her character as just a person, that she has no one left to care about, so she has nothing to lose. And yet she cares enough, because like everybody else is participating in the revolution, right?
Yeah.
In theory, to save their loved ones, to save their families, to save the people that they care about that they can't do anything about to save them, right? She has nobody to save, and she's still participating.
She's in it because that's right.
And then she full on says, this is back when they first appear, that she saved Wyrus and Beatty for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I saved them for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Katniss kind of register that, not fully, but then to have that in the context of she has nobody that she cares about, like for wanting to hate her, which I think I did. I think I did originally.
You wanted to hate her?
And I wanted to hate her, especially in the elevator scene, because that's so arrogant to just undress in front of people, you know?
Yeah, I would just hate
arrogant
people. I hate that too.
Jenna Malone walked into an elevator and started stripping.
No, it is
That
because
sucks.
you know that they're together.
So disrespectful.
No, please disrespect me though. Like, genuinely. But it is a little bit. I think back when I was a little bit more conservative, it is disrespectful to do that kind of shit, right?
It's a power move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that Joanna and Katniss didn't like each other very much because they are so
Very
damn
similar.
Yeah.
Except for, you know, Katniss, every word she says has to be measured because she doesn't want to, you know, put her family at risk, and Joanna's does not have that.
And I think that's a big difference. That's a huge difference. When you have nothing to lose, like everything to gain and nothing to lose, you start playing the game differently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 100% what's happened here.
And we do know that Joanna had to get nuts and bolts to get on Katniss's side because Joanna was in on the plan. She knew she had to get the tracker out of. And
I think on order of folks who know what's going on, I would say
She's pretty up there.
I would say I would put her and Beatty probably on the same level.
Yeah.
Finnick a little below that.
Oh, really?
I would. That's where I think I would put it. Where like Haymitch knows the full plan. He's communicated it. Beatty either figured it out or was told. Joanna was told. Finnick was told enough to be on board.
I think it's like Beatty and then Joanna and Finnick. Because I think Beatty was like tied
That
in,
might be a more
tied in with
believable
Plutarch.
tier list.
You got your fighters.
And I didn't even think this the first time, but when they are talking and you pointed out how, I can tell that they're talking to Plutarch. You know, like they're speaking in such a way that they're also communicating with Plutarch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they start coming up with their plan here.
Yeah. That was a big indication to me. Like,
because he says like we'll go at midnight or something. Like he starts kind of like laying out his timeline for like when they'll go, because they're gonna like basically run a jolt through the arena to this via this light in Back to the Future style.
and once he's got a time, Plutarch leaves. Like, he's like, okay, we're doing this at midnight. Like, I just have to hope that this works out.
Goes
But
off.
he already knew because he said it starts at midnight.
From the thing. Well, the
In the books,
clock
he's-
starts at midnight.
Maybe it's the clock that starts at midnight. Maybe it's the revolution starts at midnight.
Oh.
There's many
For sure.
applications there,
Yeah.
and maybe he knew the plan all along, which is why there was wire in the arena in the first place.
I also think that because of what I know about BD from the most recent book.
Okay.
He's,
word.
The revolution has been in the works.
Right.
Word.
Yeah, he's fucking runs all their computers or whatever, or built them all or whatever the hell. But yeah, so they have this great plan where they're going to. He kind of phrases it in a way where like
They're supposed to fry.
the
They
careers.
tell them. They tell
Yeah.
basically they tell Katniss and Peeta,
Yeah.
because that's the only two people who aren't in on
We're
it.
going to create a big electrical tripwire to like fry the careers. What we're actually going
Fry
to
the careers.
Fry the career, right? Basically pull off the move that he did in his games where he killed like 6 people at once. Like, dude, he's my favorite. I fucking love Beatty. I love Jeffrey Wright. But so they're doing that bit. What they're actually going to do, I guess, is use that to disable the arena as a whole, as we'll see. I think.
Because that's an audible that Katniss calls.
No, she calls it because she saw BD had a spear that he was trying to
Get
put
up
into
there.
the.
Word.
And he got electrocuted and
He
failed.
knocked himself out.
Yeah. As they're getting ready to do that at midnight, getting ready for the lightning strike, we do have kind of the culmination of the love triangle here a little bit with Peeta and
Yeah, we have this
Katniss.
moment.
We have this moment where he gives her the locket that has kind of cucks himself a little bit with the locket and passes it off to her.
Well, you could have used any other verb.
Sorry.
Any other verb.
But it
Jesus.
Acknowledging that someone has feelings that go beyond just you is not cuckold.
I know. I'm just saying. You didn't have to put Gale in the middle picture. All right, that's all I'm saying.
It was a move. It was quite a move.
You
He
know.
was like, I know this.
It
is how
works
you
out in his
feel.
favor, guys.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
does.
absolutely, it does. No, I love their performance here, though. I love what is Katniss's line specifically here that I love. Peeta goes like, "There's nobody that needs me," or whatever, and she goes, "I do. I need you." And her delivery on that, her face, she's realizing that as she's saying that. That's not something she's thought about.
That's her
before
whole
this
thing.
moment.
She realizes as she goes.
Yeah, and I like you said earlier, where like she is purely concerned with what's in front of her. But I love that realization that J-Law does. God, it's so. Visually, the sunset looks good here.
It does.
Yeah.
I'll say, points to the sunset. I actually like it here. I like how it's illuminated, is backlighting them and stuff. It's really great. And the music is I'm not in love with the music of the Hunger Games. Like stuff like the Capitol theme and the whistle thing, where like there's like some iconic stings here and there, but like it's not Star Wars, right? It's not John Williams. It's not a score that I'm going home to like listen to as I write or anything, you know.
It's James Howard Newton.
I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
No, I'm right. It's James Howard Newton.
Okay. okay.
James Newton Howard,
but there
maybe?
is a beautiful romantic swell here as they kiss I like this. This is like classic Hollywood
Yeah.
bullshit. I like, so points to this scene in particular for being really good. We love these two.
And the kids.
Call me crazy. I think these two crazy kids should get together. I know that might be an unpopular take in the Big
Lord.
25, but I kind of ship Katniss and Peeta.
God.
If any Team Gale listeners are out there, I respect your choice, but not that much.
I think if anyone was to acknowledge that they were a Team Gale, like they would get a lot of hate.
It's like being it's like a German living in Argentina. You know?
Jeez.
We don't talk about where you
We don't
lived
talk
in the
about-
40s. Anyway, we do get a one last scene with Plutarch and Snow here too, where Plutarch is like, "All right, everything's set up. Get comfortable. She's about to go kill everybody tonight, so I'm gonna go." And then Snow's like, "Hell yeah!" So he just hangs out on the couch, waits for it to happen.
So once they get to the end with the tree and the plan and everything,
Yeah,
Well,
plan takes off.
this is where she realizes, in the book specifically, because of course you get her inner monologue, where she realizes shit's off. Because she's like, why can't Peeta come with me? Why are they so against him coming with me? Why do I have to go with Joanna?
Right, yeah.
And you see, she does an excellent job, especially facially, Jennifer Lawrence does, of communicating that distrust and that general just, I don't know who to trust. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But there's clearly some sort of plan beyond the regular
They're
plan
so
that we
threatening.
discussed.
They become suddenly threatening, where it's like, is there a problem?
Yeah.
You know, like all of a sudden it's like, maybe we will just kill you, is what's going on through her head.
Right, and then like Joanna has cut her arm unnecessarily.
yeah, she cut her arm, put blood on her throat to make it look like she was already dead.
Yeah.
But she hit her over the head first, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, why did you attack me, but you didn't kill me? What is going on? That's what makes her hold her hand when sees Finnick come out of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she is at first hides from him, and then chooses to try to shoot him. And in the meantime
And
of
she
that,
sees that Beatty's been
she sees the
electrocuted.
spear. She sees that he's been on.
Peeta's missing.
Peeta's
too.
missing. She starts screaming for him, which it never occurs to me as much as it did in this rewatch. How ridiculous it is that she's fucking screaming in the middle of the night when, like, you don't know who to trust. Why are you screaming?
Well, they had already gotten rid of most of the people, so Joanna had
Yeah.
just been chasing
That's true.
that other person, and the only reason why Peeta was near Joanna is because he ran after Katniss when the wire snapped.
Yeah, and
Like, they felt it snap on their end, too.
well, and she, like, to Katniss's credit in the books, when one of her first moments of cognitive dissonance, especially beyond just the original, like, why are they not letting us go together, was when Finnick comes running down. He's only looking for Joanna. He's only whispering Joanna's name, which means he expected not to find her.
It seems conspiratorial
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah. Which I guess it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah. They have the standoff, and then Finnick has his callback to Haymitch here, where remember who the real enemy is, which wakes her up. And we again have kind of like a very virtual, I guess, kind of stare off again with Snow and Katniss here, as she puts together Beatty's.
And it's a great
plan.
moment because she was not necessarily meant to be the one to break that arena. You know, she really wasn't.
So the original plan was for Beatty to like charge the spear with the electric and then just juke it.
Yeah, something along those
Okay.
lines.
Okay.
Yeah, because the force field runs all the way around.
And the plan might have even been something along the lines of, like, use the lake or whatever, the beach, to conduct it. Like, you know, try to make the biggest electrical, I don't know.
Do more of an outage.
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah.
he talks about it when they're talking about the force fields in the training center. He deals in electromagnetics as his like actual job in
Yeah.
real life, and so or like as his like scientific endeavor, whatever. And so I think he was trying to go for the biggest charge possible.
Yeah.
Without having to have any kind of accuracy or any kind of weaponry go about it. Whereas she brute forces it through with the arrow.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, too, because the top, like the sky part of the dome was like more visible than any other parts of the dome.
Yeah.
Which indicates it's probably weaker, which she learned from Wyrus.
Excellent production there when she does finally like fire the arrow where it pulls
It's a great
apart.
shot of like the
ripple.
the wire and stuff too. Yeah.
the
Her
wire
getting
lighting
blown
up,
away.
the dome falling apart, and then the pieces of the dome that have fallen apart because it could have just crumbled and left like an open.
I love
hole.
the visual
but
of,
you
like-
see also like the infrastructure of those like the
Like the
metal pieces.
set collapsing is
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, like the fakeness of it really. It's a good visual of like everything in the Capitol is a
A facade.
facade. Yeah, yeah.
They definitely should have died.
Yeah.
They definitely should have died.
There's no shot as to why she fucking lived.
I mean, even
because she was directly hit by that lightning tree.
Even if they hadn't been doing all of that, you're right there, right by the tree. Isn't the point for each of these things to be fatal, right?
Yeah.
Like, so how are you? Are we saying that?
Or maybe Plutarch downed the voltage because he knew the attack was happening at midnight, just to play devil's advocate.
Sure.
But then wouldn't that put at risk that it wouldn't break open the dome?
Perhaps. I don't know.
Again, maybe it was like whoever was supposed to set it off was
gonna die
for the cause type thing, you know. So who's to say?
But Suzanne Collins had to keep her characters alive, so all three people who were standing right next to the tree
survived.
Made it into the next book.
Yeah, like with the monkey stuff, it feels like someone we should have cared about. I guess it felt like they should have, should have died.
Made a
there.
great
Obviously, I'm glad they survived, but
so am I. Yeah, no,
it's a little annoying that it was so ineffective.
At least twice this movie, I feel like Finnick could have died, and I would have been okay with it.
It would have made sense.
It would have made sense, yeah.
Yeah.
She is. I don't love this. She is like slow-mo airlifted out of the thing by like the crane.
It's her arms that really.
It's her face. It's just her floppy. She's the fucking.
What did it remind you of, Garrett?
Goodbye, my friends. I have been chosen.
Oh God!
It's the LGMs from Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yeah. The claw. It's literally the claw.
Yeah, she got the big scoop.
She just looks a little silly. She's just kind of making a silly little face as she is big scooped out of the thing. And then she wakes up on the ship next to Beatty, who's okay, hopefully.
He's just in a coma.
He's just in a coma. And then here's the boys chatting about her.
Here's Plutarch and Haymitch talking about whether or not she cooperates without PETA.
Haymitch is like, I don't know.
And she picks up a syringe. This is one of my favorite Haymitch lines is she picks up a syringe on her way in. She hears voices. She doesn't know who it is yet, right?
Yeah.
She comes in.
Ready to stab whoever.
Guns a-blazing or syringe a-stabbing. And Haymitch says, you and a syringe against the Capitol. See, this is why no one lets you make plans.
Why no one lets you make the plans.
And it's true. Like, she's a shit planner. Like, she's an excellent ad-libber. She's an excellent in-the-moment improviser. But
right.
Technically speaking. But plan-wise, she ain't got it.
She can set up a trap.
And it's impressive that Haymitch is not more of a condescending character. Like, he is being condescending in that moment, but it feels like camaraderie with Katniss. Like,
that's their rapport.
The rapport.
They've
it
been
comes
through
from a
too
place
much.
of love.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me in what we see in the movie that Gale is there.
She ends up with. Is Gale not in the last scene in that book?
He is.
Okay.
I think so.
All right.
Hold on, let me see. I don't recall.
We just like to forget about him. So.
I do like to,
sense.
so I want to make sure that I'm accurate on this.
Because the bomb that gets dropped.
About District 13?
Because the bomb that gets dropped.
Yeah, but I don't.
Oh, right. Yeah. So Gale, Plutarch reveals this is a conspiracy. Sorry to just recap us in the final minute here. Is that she's the Mockingjay. This was all set up. Plan was always to get her out. We got her out. She kind of debriefs with. Oh, I did want to talk briefly. I hate when they syringe her and sedate her, and she just kind of falls to the floor. You're a liar. You're a liar. I hate it. Just again, it's just they give this poor girl goodbye. Just these goofy ends. Same thing with the claw reaching up to her. It's just
God.
like they kind of just leave her on very just goofy moments instead of just like quietly fading out a little sooner. Or I don't know. They just kind of let her go on for a little too long.
I liked how her voice broke in that scene.
I like it better there too.
You guys are crazy. I just think she's like, all right, Jennifer, so you're gonna fall to the ground now, and just keep saying liar, and we'll cut around it.
Have you never been that devastated that you're like falling apart?
They should have had her like fall into Haymitch's. I think it was really silly and undignified looking, I guess, to have her just fall. It would have made more sense if she like maybe collapses in Haymitch's arms or something like that.
But she would have hated that, and he would have hated it too.
Who cares?
Like realistically, she just clawed his fucking eyes out. Like,
yeah, and there would have been a good moment for him to be holding her in spite of that.
Oh yeah, there is. Yes, he is there.
Haymitch and Katniss are a lot alike too, though. Like,
there you go. Yeah.
Gale is there.
Okay, so she does link up with Gale here, who tells her that District 12 has been firebombed to hell. Mom and Prim are out and safe, and they're on the way to the whole gang here is on the way to District 13. I did want to say, I think as I reach the end here with District 13, I would have liked more foreshadowing about them. Now, like you mentioned earlier, where they're like seeing like in the book, they have like the computer screen, the surveillance screen or whatever.
Yeah, like I know they wanted the shock factor of that, and you
by the
you
time
have to
I've gotten
sacrifice
here,
the mentions of it.
But by the time I got here, I forgot District 13. If I'm a casual viewer like I am, I've forgotten about District 13.
Correct.
So I'm like,
yeah, there's no mention of it prior to there. The other thing, so there's pieces along the way, right? So there's the looking for it in the screen. She has that confirmed by, so there's a cabin that she and her father used to go to at that lake that she was staring at the beginning.
wow.
Where she finds people who have run away from, I think, District 8. It's like a mom and a daughter or something like that, where they've run away. There's 2 whole side characters who are only important in that they tell her about District 13, is that they're trying to
get there
because they ran away from District 8 because District 8 is being destroyed. And this is to show just how terrible the fights and the riots and the fights in the districts are, and how the peacekeeping has gotten so poorly. And so she's like, how do you even know that there's anything in District 13? And these people are going without fully knowing, and they're only going off of the fact that the Mockingjay on the screen when they show footage of District 13 is the same. And that is the only thing that these people are going off
And that's
of.
all in like the opening prologue.
Yeah, this is pre-games. This is pre-even being selected as part of the Quarter Quell.
I could have used this in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why I said there, like I told y'all before we started this, that there's a couple key scenes that we sacrifice for brevity that I understand. I don't necessarily disagree with how they did it. And I don't think that the movie as a whole is disserviced by the lack of them.
Yeah.
However, plot-wise, it is. And I think that's where we'll lose points from me for plot.
Yeah.
On this.
Visually, I do like, just as another like coda and mirror of the first movie, where the first movie ends on Snow's face, where he's like, I think looking at her on the tour or whatever like that, and and he's like identifying her. This one ends instead on a really cool, I think it's kind of a little goofy, a little edgy, where she's sad on the table, then she gets mad on the table, and it's her looking at the screen. Right? I know what you mean.
Facial acting by J-Law.
It is, it's really good, but it's just like, and now I'm a badass. I'm just like, okay, all right, cool, sure, whatever. But in movie language, I like that it like mirrors Snow being the last guy we see in the first movie, her now being the last person we see in this one. And it ends in a very Empire Strikes Back kind of way, where the heroes are all on a ship heading to hopefully, save the day in the next one. So
for us to meet Natalie Dormer.
Oh God.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Are you ready?
Natty D.
Listen.
I love me some Natty D.
Any fucking day, bro.
Oh,
Please.
man.
Please.
All right,
I beg.
Let's rank this movie and get out of here before we get into more trouble.
All right, so you want to go plot, performance, production?
Sure.
Plot. Go.
It's really weird for me to put it at here, but I have it at 3.5.
Okay.
Just because I find it kind of long. Like, even though I like the pacing a lot, especially of the games themselves. Once we get into the games, it's kind of the opposite of the last movie. 2 hours to get to the games. It's the opposite of the last movie, where like I was kind of like meh on the games, but I like the capital stuff. This one, it's the reverse for me. I really like the pacing of the games. The capital stuff in that whole first chapter with the arc or with the tour and stuff is just really a little too slow for me. And it sounds like there is some stuff missing from the book that I would have liked more.
Yeah. Well, and you've got more in the tour. It's with what they took, the time they took for the tour, they could have added things. Again, going for the shock factor of 13, you don't want to even mention that there's a fucking revolution going on. And they do little blips with the graffiti and stuff. That's fine, I guess. But it's still not as effective as the book is.
Yeah. I would have liked some like more setup too of the other victors, like when they're announcing the quarter quell, like some scenes of like their reactions.
Yeah.
Or just some more early.
Yeah, because you know that footage is supposed to exist.
Surely they shot it or something, or just some more setup for all because we're just kind of introduced to these characters en masse, and it's like, well, I would have liked to have known about them.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't need to like spend scenes and scenes and scenes with them ahead of time, but just some kind of reference.
Well, part of that is the fact that Katniss and Peeta are first-year victors. They don't know these people at all. And that wasn't actually emphasized in the show very much. The movie is that everyone else knew each other really intimately except for Katniss and Peeta.
Right.
Which actually made them outsiders to some extent.
Well, and then there's also other districts where, kind of like Katniss and Peeta, or Katniss specifically, where there's only one like female victor in that district, or one male victor in that district, and I think it would have added to the unfairness if we were to see their reapings as well. Just to see who's on that stage and how many people do you have on that stage.
Yeah, even if it's just in the montage form.
Right. I get, that you have to have more side characters for that and yada, 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 whatever. But it could have been done a little bit better.
What are you guys at?
So Addie, go ahead for plot.
With the Hunger Games, I'm always going to want more lore. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
The lore,
Sure.
It's like you always want more details about this very interesting world that's been created. I'd give the plot a little higher than a 3.5, maybe like a 3.7, in between 3.5 and a 4.
Okay.
Because I have a nostalgia value that I always have to factor in. But there were some big things that were hard to ignore.
I'm going to go 3, probably lower than you even.
Really?
Just straight 3. And say, just because there's so much, given that the book is entirely written in Katniss's point of view. And somehow that still gives me more than the movie does.
Even with the addition of like Snow stuff. And all that,
the Plutarch's side and Snow's stuff, like that, I get some things confirmed, so that's why it's still at a 3. But there's other things that I've lost all along the way that I think would have been a little bit easier to implement plot-wise if you just give it the visual. Honestly, if you just go by visual alone. And they try to make up for it, and they kind of do so efficiently. But you knew you were going to have a 2.5-hour movie. Why didn't you? It was not as efficient as it could have been. Performance.
I was going 4. I'll amend myself to 4.5. My only real complaint is just like the handful of like weepy, silly scenes that Jennifer Lawrence gets. And that's more that more goes into plot and writing, where like I just think she's given some scenes that like
you have Jennifer. I'm gonna stand up for her here.
Sure, she's doing them well.
You have Katniss grieving that she has, like, she's already living her nightmares in her sleep all of the time in peace, right? Like she's on the victory tour and she's already like reliving those nightmares. This is pre having to go back in and pre-knowing that she has to go back in.
Yeah.
I think it speaks to the humanity of her character that she is weepy, because you see a very strong person, a very strong victor by the end of movie 1. And then now she has to live with those consequences. And I think it's better that she is weepy about it than she is just blasé. Or I did what I had to do to survive.
I like that she has a handful of... I just think she has one too many scenes like that, like crying over Peeta when he can't breathe and freaking out at Jack Quaid, and like 1 or 2 or 3 of those I'm okay with.
God forbid a woman be emotional.
She's fine. Again,
honest.
Again, it's fine. Like she's really... I don't know. I find her crying, freaking out acting to be just, I guess, more over the top than I would care for. I would also put that at Joanna. I think Joanna's a little over the top in a way that, like...
She's pretty over the top.
She's pretty over the top, yeah.
Just remember also that they're competing with Twilight and having to hear the criticism against Kristen Stewart, who didn't have enough
Who had
emotion.
nothing going on. Right, right. It's a weird time in teen movie history.
Right.
So, yeah, but there's just a handful of little moments like that. But again, otherwise, you have all these really great veteran actors. My boy Hoffman. Jeffrey Wright, you know what I mean? Like, I love these guys, and these guys are bringing like a great, by contrast, subtlety to it, right? That like, and maybe that's just my preference of acting style, or like I like a more reined in performance a lot of the time.
You just like control. Because you don't have emotions.
I like.
Yeah, God forbid you feel an emotion.
I like emotions that are held back. I think that's.
You cried
You know what? You
once in
remind me
front
a
of
lot
me.
of Katniss.
Sure.
You don't know how to feel your emotion.
You don't.
No,
He self-admits to it too.
Oh, yeah.
You're awkward with
Yeah.
the
His
signs of
beige flag
affection.
is that he admits to it, but he won't feel them.
I'm a Sagittarius. I'm an archer. You know.
God.
What
Oh
is?
my God.
Go ahead and give me. What's your performance rating, Addie?
I'd give it a 4.9. I disagree with you.
Sure.
I love the way she emotes, and I think that everybody does a great job. Those moments that are goofy, that are not supposed to be goofy, like the goodbye, and I think that in a movie where the only laughs you get are from some little witty quips, like I'm not against it. You know,
They're not supposed to be
memeable.
funny.
It's memeable.
Sure. TikTok.
Like
TikTok.
I don't know. I think with the mahogany in the first movie and stuff like that, the Hunger Games franchise was self-aware and aware of its fandom, and I don't hate the occasional fan service.
Well, and again, we kind of talked about Jennifer Lawrence's reputation had
Quirky,
developed at this time
kooky
too.
Jennifer Lawrence,
Right.
yeah.
What's your lost 0.1 there?
There's always room for improvement.
Okay.
I would have given it a 5, but I just had that conversation with Garrett about how I did not rate Sinners a full 5 stars. And, you know, Sinners is more of a 5 stars than this
For sure.
performance
I
in this
understand.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm going to go 4.8. 1.1 being lost for room for improvement. Just because I'm going to elaborate on that, being that a lot of these actors are young. This is one of their first endeavors for many of them, or, you know, one of their early endeavors for many of them.
Yeah.
And thus, you know,
I'm so glad that Donald Sutherland got some work
they're just,
in his later years.
yeah.
Oh, man. He
And they're
earned
just
it.
now starting to figure out their style of performance. And then another 0.1 lost for the accents for both Finnick and Liam with their,
Oh, there is some
A little
accent
accent
slipping.
slippage.
Sure.
with
Okay.
that with
Yeah.
those slipping. Not, and it's not egregious. It's not terrible. It doesn't take me out of it.
Katniss, I'm in love with you.
But
Yeah.
that is a slip in performance.
But it is a slip in
Katniss.
performance.
Katniss.
So 4.8 for me on that. And production.
Sorry, I was still in
You were still in the headspace, eh?
I'm in love with Miley. I'm in love with Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
I'm
Oh.
gonna cheat on her with Jennifer Lawrence.
Katniss Everdeen.
Katniss Everdeen.
Justice for Miley.
I want to go down under, you know.
Ugh.
Ew. I doubt he does because he seems very selfish. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
all
bet
the way
he's
to
never
District
been down
13.
under.
Anyway, what are we on? Production? I hate that this lost points on me, but like the fact that 2 really great sequences happened at night and they were just so poorly lit has brought me down to a 3.5.
Damn.
Yeah, I really, because I loved the concept of those so much, and again the game.
The music on that one kiss doesn't save it.
There wasn't
Shit,
enough of it.
man.
There
That's
wasn't
harsh.
enough of it.
That's a harsh drop.
There
What else?
wasn't enough of the music. I don't know. Maybe I am being unfair, and like in a 4 is better because of Effie's costumes alone are really
Dead
great.
ass.
I don't know. Somewhere between a 3.5 and a 4 for me. There's just like
So 3.8.
stuff like the Hummers, where it's just Hummers and it's not a
Mm-hmm.
cool futuristic vehicle. The stuff that's really good is really good, and the stuff that's just like
Blah is blah.
blah
Flops.
is so it's such a flop. The monkeys are such a flop. The fog is such a flop. Even the final bit where she has to shoot the arrow into the thing, like again, that's a night scene. Some of the coolest stuff is happening in terrible night lighting, and that
You don't get
sucks.
the. I'm going to disagree with you on the arrow shooting scene because you can't get the lightning coming up the thing if it's broad daylight.
Right, but you can still light it in a way where it would be satisfying.
That's fair.
You know, so and I don't know, so that loses a big point, especially because the games are so good in theory, and it's paced a lot better. I like how quickly. How quickly it's my turn. You're the one who's always.
I actually haven't had that many this time.
You're okay.
I think the fact that we're recording this very late at night.
Historically,
We're
our
doing
funnier
pretty
ones.
good. We're doing pretty. All things considered, we're not nearly as delirious as we should be.
Yeah,
Truly.
we could be. We could be way worse.
But it shows.
Yeah.
It does come out.
Addie, what's your production?
I'd give it a 4.
Okay.
Because some of the things that you contributed to plot, I felt like were more of a production failure. Like the way things that were communicated, leaving stuff out, stuff
the visuals,
like that.
yeah.
It's more of a, And then, what was it? I didn't think the lighting was that bad. I really liked a lot of the effects and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hated Katniss's wig. Hated her wig. After the Hunger Games, I'm not a fan of Katniss's hair and how it's done at all.
The first movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were a couple scenes where I'm like, Katniss's makeup is way too heavy. It makes sense when she's on display in front of the Capitol, but if she's like in the train relaxing or back at the district, she shouldn't look like she has bronzer on. Like, it just feels a little not Katniss to me. So that's
the Tooch's wig.
4.
The Tooch's wig is
Not
worth
a big
a point.
fan of the Tooch's
Definitely
wig.
worth at least a 10th of a point.
Sure.
With at minimum, the ponytail could have been teased.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, she was like so bothered by the lack of teasing.
I was. As somebody who has a lot of volume in their hair, like there are days where like I can, it'll naturally have it, and then there's days where I have to work for it. Like to get that consistency.
The Tooch knows
gotta
nothing
work
about
for
that.
it.
You know, that's not an area the Tooch is versed in.
It was definitely the production team's, kind of failure.
And then
What are you putting it at then, Ash?
I'm gonna go 4 for sure. The lighting, right, in the night scenes, for sure. The many things that I've mentioned along the way, but there's so many things that I feel like I've been able to say. One, surpassed what I imagined in my head as I read the book, or 2, was pleasantly surprised by the perfect execution of.
Yeah.
Those things save it. However, there just is a lot that could have been better. And then I think
Room for improvement.
always room for improvement. But also just, I think visually it is well done, especially for its time. It is where I would believe something would stand the test of time. I believe it does, especially this being over 10 years later that we're rewatching. However, to your point of the Hummer, to your point of the visuals that we lose due to plot, things like that just really don't land. And because you had such a really brilliant opening in the first movie with production, doing as much as they could.
Just establishing that tone and look.
And
yeah.
you got a little lazy there, I think, in continuing that. So 4 for me on production.
One more thing I wanted to say before we close out, that came to me not in a dream, but probably in I think a TikTok comment thread or something. But what do you guys think about the double meaning in the title that is Catching Fire? We haven't really talked about that because it was pointed out to me, or I was reading somewhere that like catching fire, yes, right, the revolution is catching fire, right? That like things are heating up and so on and so forth. However, that's from Katniss's perspective. From Snow's perspective, he has to catch the fire.
That one was a stretch.
Katniss. No.
I get it. It's a stretch.
You know what I mean? Like he has to catch it before it spreads, and like that is literally
fire.
like he's catching. So I don't know. I read that like in a Reddit or TikTok comment or something like that, and I was like, that is really. I don't know if she necessarily intended that right, but I thought that was pretty clever.
I would hope she did. I like the double entendre.
Yeah.
That's good. I did also, speaking of double entendres, that I wanted to mention and I forgot, when Finnick says his like last line to Annie in his interview with Caesar. He's like, the last thing I'll be thinking if I die in those games, if I die in that arena, the last thing that I'll be thinking of is your lips. And I said, which ones?
Hey.
I just wanted to throw
I
that in
did
there.
not expect her to say that on here.
Eventually,
We already have the explicit rating. It's fine.
But we all know he meant all 4.
Right. How old is Annie?
They're adults. They're in their 20s.
Okay.
They're
all
in their
right.
20s.
But isn't she like mentally incompetent or something?
She's just a little crazy.
No, she just had a psychotic
Crazy
break.
people can have sex too.
All right. You're right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just checking.
Crazy people deserve
eventually-
orgasms as well.
Right. You know what? And I've always said that. All right. Thank you for joining us here on the podcast of critics. Next time we will be covering part 1 or Mockingjay Part 1 to hopefully begin to close out our quadrilogy.
Halfway there.
Halfway there. Yep. This one is clocking in. This we made it. I think this one's gonna end up somewhere around like 3 hours long. So thanks for sticking with us. Still not quite where I want it, but you know what? Good enough for me.
Hey man, it was more concise. I didn't go on for hours about the book.
These are right. If I can get a word count on this episode on in the book, we'll see. By the end of this whole
We'll take
series,
shots and we'll all be drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Whenever we get around to doing Lord of the Rings, I ain't reading shit, guys.
I'm not either. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh my God.
Don't ask me to read that.
All right. I have been Garrett.
I've been Ashley.
And I've been Addie.
And this has been the podcast of critics.
Find us on our socials at Instagram, Podcast Critics, as well as Blue Sky, and then TikTok. Allegedly, I'm still not confirmed.
Podcast of critics 1.
We think it's just the number 1.
The number 1.
We're not sure.
Find us on the what? TikTok.
TikTok. Bye.
Thank you and good night.
May the odds be ever in your